This version of It's Eric Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready?
It's Eric Nagel. And it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Eric Nagel.
And thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. I am Eric Nagel, and joining me each and every week from the frozen tundra known as Arizona. Say hello to Jordan.
Hey, everybody.
A little bit of a late start for the live video people, but for the radio people, it's all brand new because it's going out on time the next day, so we don't have to worry about that. If you do want to join us live each and every week, you can come over to our live rooms on YouTube and on Twitch. Follow, subscribe right there. It's free, or if you have your Prime account from Amazon, you could throw that our way for Twitch and throw us a couple of bucks into our pocket. No cost to you. It's Amazon paying us for you being a customer. We would appreciate that. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, do us a kindness, go over there and put us for number one on the preset. I don't know why that's still the thing to do, but that's what they want us to do. So that's what we're going to say. Apple, Spotify, all those other places, go over there and do us a kindness. Leave us a positive review. It helps out the program. And if you can't do any of that stuff and just want to watch the video of the show when you're damn good and ready, it is available for you, as always, on our YouTube channel at It's Eric Nagel. Also, before we get into everything else, there's a bunch of new videos up there on the YouTube channel that you should go check out. We have the shortened version of watching dangerous pool jumping from ungodly heights. That is up there. We had the annoying songs from a couple of weeks ago with mostly, I think we were featuring Bella Thorne at that point.
Yep.
So we have her video up there. The whole Switch presentation, debacle, price coverage, all of that stuff with Brian Shea of newly formed Game Informer. That's all there. And
that's a good one.
What else did we put up there? We had a few other things that are up there. Oh, the top U.S. restaurants for 2025.
Yeah, I was just going to say restaurants were a big one.
That was interesting because the one that was number one for years had no idea, and the number one restaurant now I've never been to, but apparently a lot of other people have been to, had no idea about that as well. So you can go check out there. And we have the part one of Mickey Rourke on Celebrity Big Brother is up there for you to peruse. We have part two tonight, and there's a lot to going on with that. So we'll get into that in a little bit. I think that's it. Oh, and the inappropriate foods. I've been hearing a lot of people talk.
A lot of people like that one.
About that particular segment with the commercials and what have you. So, again, it's Eric Nagel on YouTube. It's free. Go and subscribe and hit the notifications. All that fun stuff. It's all there available for you. A little bit late getting the show going tonight because of I was in the city, had meetings, and a lot was going on. So everything else, real world stuff, took up time, and show had to wait.
It's just Eric taking up space.
It is.
This is what he's doing.
We're not taking up space. What is it? What was the one from like a year ago that everybody was saying?
Oh, standing on business.
No.
There was
holding space.
Holding space.
Holding space.
Yes.
That was the new way.
The wicked bitch.
That was the new way of defending people who were marginalized and were downtrodden and in minority groups. We're holding space for this kind of people and this kind of attitude and what have you. Are you sunburnt? I'm just noticing now how red you are.
I think it's.
Are you out there having fun in the warm Arizona sun?
No, it's getting hot. Don't want anything to do with it.
You're looking very red.
Look, hold on. Here we go. It's the beauty of modern science.
You look like a ruby red grapefruit, my friend. Here, I'm going to show everybody.
Ruby red
look how red he is.
I know, it's going weird.
It's changing a little bit.
I'm adjusting. We're good.
Blood pressure. You taking your blood pressure meds?
Take some of that saturation down a little bit.
There you go. Yeah, all right. Now
feels like every week, like all the settings get messed up on everything. So like I have to redo all the lighting. I have to redo all.
You were looking
sound.
Cartoon angry. You know, when you're sitting there and the rage is starting to boil. Yeah, the red line's going up your head. The steam's about to come out. The whistle's going to blow. You know, it's 5 o'clock on Friday, how it all goes.
Christopher Lloyd's going to dip me in some kind of acid.
You look so much better. So much better.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's see. The chats are up and running. I think Twitch is running this. Do I see? Yeah, Twitch is on. Everything's good. We're not going to have that problem anymore. Our pal Chris is in the chat. Number 1 on terrestrial radio for callers. Number 1 for online streaming chats. Chris is there and available. And for all your subdivision and karaoke needs, please go over and visit his channel. He does play golf online once in a while, but a lot of times he's just crooning on a Friday night.
Interesting.
How have you been? What's going on with you?
Not too bad. Just getting the week done. Going to a concert tomorrow night. Get to go hang out and do some stuff. Just been doing like volleyball stuff with the kid. Normal stuff. So just trying to stay indoors, man. It's starting to get hot. We hit triple digits earlier this week. And I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with any of this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, hitting up another concert starting tomorrow, and it's gonna get my next couple months gonna be doing that sort of thing. So I'm gonna go see Jimmy Eat World tomorrow night. It's gonna be fun. Sold out show, so that should be interesting.
What other songs do they have? I know The Middle. I can't.
Sweetness.
That's the other one. I couldn't think of that.
Yeah, that's probably the other big one. Clarity, Goodbye Sky Harbor, Lucky Denver Mint. Like those are probably the bigger hits. Yeah. Those are like a little earlier on. Bleed American was probably, I think, their very, very big hit album. I think it was it used to be called something else. I think it was Bleed American, and then they had to switch it because of 9/11. I think it released like right after 9/11 or right before 9/11.
Okay.
That's how old that album is, yeah. So, but yep.
Well, you're going to see them.
I'm going to go see them.
Fantastic. That sounds like...
I'm going to go visit a hipster pizza place for dinner down in Tucson.
What makes it a hipster pizza place?
It's just one of those like rooftop bar type places that does like specialty pies, wood-fired pies. It's like, oh,
that sounds fine.
No, it sounds great. I'm excited. Anything that's not like cheap pizza that I'm feeding my kids.
If they have a craft beer, set up there while doing it, then I understand.
I want to be full on pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, it's I'm excited. It's the type of place that does like, oh, this is like my prosciutto and apple wood fire kind of pizzas. So it's not like the traditional style for most stuff, but I'm excited. I'm excited. Finally get out and get some good
going
good
out
food
to a nice concert, taking the kids with you.
No, screw them. They're staying home
by themselves. You're just going out and about, having a night for yourself.
It's a big crate. Both kids and the dog.
They're trained.
Fine. Yeah, I got food in there.
Wait, all three in one crate, not separate crates?
It's a big crate.
Okay, fair enough.
You got to keep warm.
Good on you.
No, I do a lot with the
I'm
kids.
not going to any concerts.
I need some time away.
Yeah, I'm not going to any concerts. I don't do that kind of thing anymore. This is WrestleMania weekend.
It is.
It's been WrestleMania week, actually, since Monday Night Raw. It's the whole week to celebrate the Royal Festival known as WrestleMania.
Yeah, a lot of Hall of Fame induction stuff coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I forget her name, but they're inducting somebody that everyone's like, why are they inducting her?
Oh, Michelle McCool?
Yeah, and it's because she's married to the Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
So like that's literally the only reason. Like she wasn't good enough, I think, at the time of wrestling to be inducted, but here we are. I think we're running out of people, so they just have to throw anybody in there.
I don't know. I mean, I can see why people say that, but I mean, she was a good wrestler. She was the first Divas champion, so that kind of makes her a bit of an historical figure. But yeah, I get it. I get there's a lot of
there's always
head scratching
kind of controversy or something.
Yeah, looking at this stuff and going, none of this makes any sense. And then they're putting some people in what is it called? Post when they're dead.
Posthumous?
Posthumously? When you win an award or that kind of thing. They're putting Tugboat and Earthquake together when they were a tag team. They're going in. And then they're doing a new thing now with matches, that they're honoring matches for the Hall of Fame.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the first match going into the Hall of Fame is the Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart championship match, where that's the one where Stone Cold bled out and passed out, so he didn't lose technically. He just blacked out, and they had to call the match. So,
do you ever think they induct the Montreal Screwjob?
Oh, at some point they will, especially with Vince not in the picture anymore. They have to.
Because I figured like they probably wouldn't have made it a big deal if Vince was still kind of running things. So it's like, oh, we can't really throw that in there, but now we have to. That would have been cool. They're
doing a lot of different things now that Vince isn't there anymore. So I'm sure at some point they'll bring that. It's weird too that Vince always had this rule that the Hall of Fame night was nothing to do with him. It was all about the people being honored and the fans that loved them. So he never wanted to be on camera. He doesn't voice anything. He won't induct anybody. He has nothing. He runs the show, but he has nothing to do with, like, he's hands off on that particular product that they put out. Now that he's persona non grata for the company, he'll never go into the Hall of Fame now after he dies or when he officially would retire from WWE. Whatever the situation was, if he didn't have this lawsuit thing going on, they would have honored him. They had to, at that point. But now they won't. They won't bring him in at all because of all of this. The federal case got thrown out. It's now the civil case. And the civil case doesn't look good for the lady either because of, yes, all the horrible things that she was alleging was happening. But she stayed there for like 4 years. While all that was going on, she never left. She kept taking the money. She was doing all of these things there, and people could say, "Oh, you're victim blaming." I understand that too, but why would you stay there for 4 years? It's a place of employment. You could have walked out and then did this lawsuit many years ago. It's a civil suit, so it's just going to come down to who's being paid and whatever. No criminal charges are going to happen.
Yeah, and civil suits are, I think, easier to. It's just like with the OJ case. He didn't get in jail. He didn't get convicted of murder or anything like that. But civilly, he got in trouble and had to pay the Goldmans a ton of money. Civil cases are a lot easier to get on the plaintiff's side than is the defendant's side. So,
right.
That could happen. Then she could get paid out on that case. She doesn't have to prove as much. So,
Chris in the chat saying Vince had his entire face in Trish Stratus's ass. If that's not Hall of Fame material, I don't know what is. I agree with you. And there's plenty of moments where people had their face in Rikishi's ass because that was one of his moves. So that could also qualify for all of that.
I think didn't Rhea Ripley do the same Rikishi bit with her ass?
Yeah, they did a mock thing with.
I love that. It was hilarious.
But the other females are always disgusted by it, and like you liked it. I get it. So WrestleMania week is happening. A lot of stuff going on in Vegas. When they come to a city to do WrestleMania, they take over the city. They go out and they do a lot of charitable events. Right. They do a lot of things at schools for underprivileged schools in the area. The wrestlers will go out and they go and they read, they do story time in classes. They come and they promote education, physical fitness, all those kind of things. They do the rounds on local television, national television for, well, it's not pay-per-view buys anymore, but subscribing, at least in the United States, to Peacock to get people to go there because that's what houses the WWE feed for the United States and I think Canada too. The rest of the country is getting everything through Netflix.
I was going to say, I think it was Netflix.
Not the country, the world. Else. I mean, is getting stuff through Netflix. So yeah, they're out and about. They're taking over all of Las Vegas for everything that they're doing, and they have a bunch of other things set up. They have a place set up, and they do this a lot where you walk in and it's like a fan zone where you can go and do meet and greets. You can do signings. Almost like a Comic-Con, but just for WWE stuff. But they also have like their own makeshift museum that they set up. So you see bronze statues of Bruno Sammartino and Andre the Giant, legends.
Vince's face and Trish Stratus. Like that's a bronze statue.
Well, you could go and get your face and put your face in Andre's ass.
And then you get to put your face there. Yeah.
But you go in to see all this stuff. You get to see, I don't want to say artifacts, but, props.
I mean, it kind of is.
And outfits and things that were part of wrestling history, not just for WWE and WWF and WWF, but like WCW stuff, ECW stuff, anything that they bought the rights to, old NWA, old territories, things like that. All that stuff is usually on display for people to see. And they do like their own, like I said, they have the bronze figures, but they also do like wax figures too of prominent people from the wrestling industry. They unveiled today, because Triple H is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. They unveiled a wax figure of Triple H.
Oh my God. And
they went to look at it, and Triple H, and you look at this thing, it looks great except for the eyes. The eyes are kind of messed up with it. And it has him in his pose, because whenever he does when he's corporate Triple H, since he's been running NXT and now running WWE and all that, whenever he has like when CM Punk came back, there's a photo of them backstage holding shaking hands, holding hands, and then he's always doing this. He's pointing and whatever, right? So that's the big thing that Triple H does. He points.
Right.
They unveil this thing for Triple H to see, and him and Stephanie are there. Stephanie McMahon, Vince's daughter, his wife, if you're not aware. And they're looking at it, and they think it looks great, but they're all like, the eyes are messed up. And then they want him to pose next to the figure. Take a look at this.
Oh, you have it? Because I was just about to pull it.
I have it here. Take a look. Look at this.
It's got black eyes like a doll.
So there's a video clip. He walks over and he goes, "Oh, this is cool." And he goes, "What's with the eyes?" It looks like he's like possessed, you know?
He looks it honestly, the wax figure looks aged by about 20 more years. Like he looks like really old in the wax version.
Right. If you're a Doctor Who fan, he kind of looks like an Ood, if that means anything to anybody. Right. But he looked at it and they're like, "Oh, pose next to it," meaning the finger's pointing this way. You should stand over here with it. And he goes, no. And he goes over to this side and he just recreates the bizarre statue right next to it. So
is the statue built higher, or is it just did they just make it taller for that? Like,
I think it's on a little a little. You know, like when
a platform
when
or
you
some
display
kind of,
certain figures or Funkos, whatever, they have the little disc that goes under to prop it up and to hold it. Yeah. I think it's like on a mount, some kind of stand there.
Oh, they got another foot on him.
Yeah.
And wild eyes.
But when I saw that video and saw that photo, I was laughing. I was like, he's like the head guy. And that's the statue you put out there with the eyes. The eyes should be glowing. Or at least the pupil's red, because he should look like he's possessed, almost like a demon. It would
be nice if like they had a motor where it would just like every now and then just like look side to side just to freak people out.
Right. Oh yeah. So you're standing there and you
just like it. Yeah. Just looks
it's just
over.
Following you. It's terrifying children.
Yeah. It's freaking people out.
Fantastic.
Now you had sent me this the other day, and it was wild to see this being built. And I've got a picture here that you'd sent, and now this is where you're showing me. This is the stage that the setup they're building for WrestleMania.
Yeah, this was like a week or two ago.
This is huge.
Look how high that is.
Right. Like, are they planning on not filling the bowl full of people? Like, are they just planning on having giant monitors?
Well, usually they have a stage that is a bit of a high rise so that they can do the LED screen, they can do all the pyro, all the fancy stuff, and then it walks down almost like it's very Roman Empire like, where the emperor will walk down this giant ramp in front of all the the local people. That's how they have it. They have this long, this elongated ramp from the stage to go down to the ring area.
Right, but this is like
is higher than I've ever seen it.
This is like a 3-story building sized stage. Like last year at WrestleMania, they did it at the Link over in Philly.
Right.
I don't remember it being that high off the ground. Like you're right, they have to give it up a little bit. But this is just insane by stagecraft standards. Like this is really tall.
Yeah. So I don't know. They haven't done a full reveal of the stage yet. Usually we'll get that probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow,
I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Tomorrow, as we're doing this today, as it comes out for the radio audience, Friday night will be SmackDown.
Right.
Live. And then after that, like 2 hours after that, is the Hall of Fame. ceremony, which will also that will be live on, I think that's on Peacock.
Yeah, I think most of it all goes on Peacock now.
And they moved SmackDown to the USA Network, which is also NBC Universal. So it's all in-house except for Raw, which is on Netflix. So they'll have all of that. They'll probably reveal tomorrow a little video of the stage, because that was Vince's thing for the last decade when they started doing a lot of the stadium versions of WrestleMania. Vince would always give out little teasers, or him with posing for a photo with the stage behind him, a little bit of a teaser to see what the stage and the whole setup will look like. So who knows? Right now they're in that stadium, that football stadium that they have.
Yeah, for the Raiders.
So that'll be something. We'll probably find out tomorrow. Now, because it's WrestleMania week, and it's also Easter too for those who celebrate, but because it's WrestleMania week, I found some clips that I would like to share with you. And it's one of our favorite bands that we've featured on this show before. Going down old Mexico's way. Our pals, the Easy Band.
Oh, I do love the Easy Band.
And they put out a series of wrestling theme covers. One of them got noticed by John Cena a while back, and he loved it and started promoting it and did a little video saying that this was fantastic, and they kind of blew up. So they've just been now putting out wrestling themes and trying to get other wrestlers to notice it, and good on them for doing that, because their stuff is fantastic. Now, you're familiar with John Cena, right?
Correct.
Are you familiar with his theme song?
I've heard it every now and then. I mean, I don't know did he change it recently when he turned heel?
No, he kept
the same. Or is it just still the same?
His heel move was coming out to the ring and saying, "I'm not changing outfits. I'm not changing anything." And he goes, "I'm not a baby face. I'm not a heel. I'm tired of all of you, and I'm not giving you anything. This is all for me." Which I've never seen a heel move happen, because usually when a heel change happens,
more like apathy. Outfits, I'm not going to do any of it.
Outfits change, music changes, a whole bunch of stuff changes. He just goes. He comes out with. He doesn't run out to the ring anymore. He doesn't. He used to do this thing where he could pull his shirt off with one hand, whip it up like this, and then launch it into the crowd. He doesn't throw any stuff for kids. He doesn't do any of that stuff anymore. He still comes out as Super John Cena and just like, I'm not doing this for anybody. I'm not changing anything. That's my voice on the song. I wrote that song. I'm going to get the money from that song being played. It's been hilarious. So this is a version of his current theme. Well, current, it's been like 20 years. My Time Is Now by the Easy Band. Check this out. It fits right into like Spanish music.
That's really fun. I love the accordion.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now.
And the lead singer's not there, it's just a microphone in an empty room.
You can't see me, my time is now. Se acabó, ahora soy yo. No me miras, mi tiempo es hoy. Chico franquicia, ahora brillo yo.
That's pretty good.
No me miras, mi tiempo es hoy.
Right?
Your time is up, my
So you get it. So that's
all right, I like that. I like
his
it.
current theme, right? So they also covered his previous theme when he was the Doctor of Thugonomics.
Oh god, yeah, that one I remember.
That's
too.
when he was rapper John Cena.
Yeah, he put out a whole album.
Well, that album came with Super John Cena, not with with Dr. Thugonomics John Cena. But he used to rap all his promos, and he was damn good at it too. So this is his Thugonomics theme called Word Life. Again, all of his songs fit right into the Spanish music.
This is basic thugonomics. This is basic thugonomics. Word life.
Right? It fits.
I like it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Word life. This is basic.
And you're right, the accordion makes everything. And
really
the Mexican guitars.
Soy intocable, pero te obligo a sentir. Sea luchando, tirando, mi disciplina va pegando para atrás de
All right, so that's fantastic too, right? So John
a little bit more of like that cowbell sound, but yeah, but for the most part, that's really good.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like it should, right? So they did a couple other ones too. Are you familiar with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes?
Yes,
Son of legendary Hall of Famer wrestler Dusty Rhodes, who was the American Dream.
Isn't he brother of Goldust or?
Yes, his brother's Goldust. I don't know what his real name's Dustin. I think he's in AEW right now.
Yeah,
not really doing a whole hell of a lot, but anyway, this is their cover of his American Nightmare theme.
Adrenaline in my soul, every fight out of control.
Again, another song that converts fantastic to this Mexican style. Another fantastic cover.
I gotta say, like these, it's like you almost like you want to like crap on it, but then you're also like, no, this is actually really fun. Like,
I don't want to really crap on it. I found all of these to be very entertaining and amazing.
I gotta say, after we featured them that one show, I added like the 2 albums that I could find onto my playlist, and I'll listen to their like cover of like MCR, and I just like I kind of think and dig it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Look, Chris is even saying, I would listen to this shit in my car. Yeah, I would too. I was looking to see, I'm like, they have to put out an album. Is it on Spotify? Can I buy it on iTunes? I'd like to support this band. Yeah, I'd buy them just to support the band. Why not? Then the final one I have here, this one was hilarious. The Heartbreak Kid, Mr. Wrestlemania, Shawn Michaels.
Estoy chulo, sé que soy sexy, el look tengo, que la sé enloquece a todas.
I want to see if he can do that flex pose where he leans to one leg.
Escalofríos por toda la espalda. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy.
It works. Everything they do works. What were you gonna say?
I'm just gonna say, like, I gotta say, I would almost rather them do it completely in Spanish. Like, I think somehow it works really good when they just do the Spanish version.
It's fantastic.
It's like you understand it, you recognize it because you know the theme,
and then you feel good about yourself. Like, I know Spanish. No, idiot, you know the English version. It's like 99 Red Balloons when they play the Loft Balloons version.
Right. 99 Left Balloons.
And you're like, I know German. No, you just know the American version. And note, most of the German lyrics are not the American version's lyrics.
Correct.
Hands off the merchandise, ladies. Like when it's like Cheech Marin in Dust Till Dawn.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hands off the merchandise, like doing that. We've got Stinky, this one and that.
If you could find it any cheaper, F it.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
It's so good. I haven't seen that movie for. There's like 3 other movies that I've never seen from Dust Till Dawn. I don't think they're Quentin's versions.
You've
but
never seen that one?
No, I've seen From Dust Till Dawn, but there's like a 2 and a 3, maybe even a 4.
They made a TV show of it. They made like
I've never saw that
show
either.
of it. I think like Robert Patrick was in the 2nd or 3rd one. Like they made a bunch of those.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those, and I haven't seen Dust Till Dawn in so long. Like that's a movie I think I need to go back and watch because it's like Stripes. It's like Full Metal Jacket, where the first part of the movie is one thing, and then it takes a turn, and then it turns into a completely different movie for the second half.
Yeah, when that twist happens halfway through the movie, for the first time you're seeing it, you're going, I did not think this was going this direction. Like it completely flipped like the genre. Like it was like a kidnapping heist movie.
Right.
Then it turned into some kind of crazy vampire flick. And you're like, what the Like it's just happened. There is a documentary real quick about the making of that movie called Full Tilt Boogie. I think you could find both of them on Max. Watch the behind the scenes of it.
Okay.
That scene where they're walking out of the convenience store and it blows up. That was it. One take. They had no other contingency. They had to do it right. And they nailed all their lines and they're walking out and the explosions are happening. The making of that movie is actually almost as enjoyable as the movie itself. It's really cool.
Okay. You said it's on Max?
Check it out. It should be on Max.
Is the movie on Max too?
The movie should be still on Max.
Because that's terrible if you put the documentary and people found it and go, I want to go watch the movie, and they're not offering it on their streaming service.
Yeah, no, it should be on there.
Chris, our pal Subdivision, saying, hey, I still have the damn Pile Driver album, which was the, I think, late 80s WWF album they put out. Jive Soul Bro for the win. I don't know if Jive Soul Bro would work with the Mexican conversion, but read in the chat saying, but do they cover the Mr. Ass theme? That I would love to hear. You remember that song?
Yes.
I'm an Ass Man?
Oh my God, I couldn't believe they did that.
That's where you could have Cheech doing the yellow pussy, brown pussy, whatever. I love to kick them. I love to hug them. Just doing that back and forth. That was kind of racist on my part, but whatever.
No, it was a good accent.
All right, let's try to, let's see. Where's the diversity folder there? Since we said that, we might as well go and do the other stuff here. Here we go.
Mexican Americans don't like to just get into gang fights. They like flowers and music and white girls named Debbie too. Mexican Americans are named Chata and Chela and Chema and have a son-in-law named Jeff. Mexican Americans don't like to get up early in the morning, but they have to, so they do it real slow. Mexican Americans love education, so they go to night school and study Spanish and get a B. Yeah, leave that in. Mexican Americans love their nanas and their nonos and their ninas and their ninos. Nanu, 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 no. Mexican Americans
love
don't
this
like
song.
to go to the movies
It's so good.
where the dude has to wear contact lenses to make his blue eyes brown. Cause don't it make my brown eyes blue. And that's all I got.
That's all I got.
Like it.
See, I'm such a sucker for Cheech and Chong that I'll still watch things like the Corsican Brothers, which is not great. I'll watch that. I'll watch I Love Born in East LA, which is not a Cheech and Chong movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not a Cheech and Chong. That's like when you find some movies and it's like, oh, it's a Monty Python movie. No, it has like one or two guys from Monty Python, but it's not a Python movie.
Right. But yeah, I love all those. Team's not here, man.
Kick you in the face.
That part is the best.
Let me in, man.
He's like,
not here, man.
It's just that pause and he goes,
be Dave.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we got that.
Chris saying there is no bad time ever to watch Up in Smoke, right?
Yeah.
Frankie Bronson in the chat saying the first Cheech and Chong movie is in the National Registry. Is it really? Good on them.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention this in segment 2, but since we're talking about them, they have a new movie coming out. It's called Cheech and Chong's, I think, last movie or last ride, and yeah, there you go.
Well,
the new Cheek.
The way Dominic is saying it in the chat here, you're going to watch the new Cheek and Chong. Like that could have been
like a porn spin-off.
Yeah. Remember when they were doing the XXX parodies of television shows?
Yes.
So it's Cheek and Chode or something, or Cheek and Dong. Although, I bet you we'll do the Bill and Ted time travel game. Look up and see if there's a porn movie called Cheek and Dong.
I mean, I'm not using my internet to find that. I have kids.
It's in your house where your kids play with their toys. Let's see.
Yeah, there's a new Cheech and Chong movie coming out this weekend, which is quite fitting since Easter does fall on 4/20, the national pot smoking holiday.
There's a movie called Cheeks and Dong.
Of course there is.
And it's black people. It's a black exploitation movie.
Interesting.
All right.
Interesting.
There we go.
Right.
Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But for this, to prove my point that I just saw it there in Google Images, I'm going to say it's a yes.
God damn it. Now I'm looking it up too.
No, don't worry about it. All right. So that's the WrestleMania. We got all the WrestleMania stuff in, right? Because I just wanted. So. I was sitting on those songs for a while. I was like, I want to play these, but we should save them for WrestleMania week. Also happening, we're in between weeks of Coachella.
Yep.
And I got to say, I think this is the first year that no one seems to give a shit about Coachella.
No.
Because there's no news coming out. At first, they were like, oh, parking is terrible. And I was laughing. I'm like, yeah, it should be. Screw all of them. But there's been nothing. There was a minor uptick online. This British, they call her rapper, but she's just a cheesy pop star. Charlie XCX.
Yeah.
Made a comment that she should have been headlining that night of, I think it was last Saturday night's Coachella instead of Green Day.
Ugh, fuck off.
She had the bigger hit than Green Day does. And it's like their song's been around for almost 40 years and are still club bangers.
Right.
You know, they have that longevity of the aging rock bands that our parents were growing up with, you know, like a Led Zeppelin or Steve Miller Band, that kind of thing.
I mean, they're selling out stadiums to play albums that are 25 and 30
Whether
years
you
old.
agree with their politics or his fucking preaching all the time and changing lyrics to be poignant, I guess. That aside, their songs, their music have been like staples of rock radio since they came out in the early 90s.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't name one Charlie XCX song, but every damn September I have to suffer the memes of "Wake Me Up When September Ends."
Yeah,
she's never gonna be that popular.
No,
like she's just not.
And then you bookend the fall season with Long December when they put the Counting Crows stuff up there.
Oh my gosh!
And you're like,
yeah.
Then it's gonna be May. We got that in a couple weeks. You're going to see that everywhere.
I hate the world.
I know.
Yeah, I do know that, yes.
One level above Blink-182. Who are you talking about? Charlie XCX? Because if that's the case, we're going to have to throw down and fight because I will not sit here and tolerate your Blink-182 bashing. If you're talking about Green Day, yeah, I think they have they're a bit up on the hierarchy than Blink-182. But Blink-182, not that far behind.
Not
Green Day, because they're another product of the 90s that is still relevant and popular and getting played on the radio to this day. He said Green Day. Okay, then I agree with you. There, where is the thing here? Oh, I turned that off, didn't I?
And I'm so sorry.
I hit the wrong thing.
Where are you?
There you go. I love that one.
It's so good.
So nothing really coming out of Coachella. So I was looking. I'm trying, like, is there any kind of overdose? Is there people overheating? Is there a water tent, a medical tent that's not fully functional? I'm looking for anything. Nothing. There's nothing. Oh, shit, there was one thing, and I forgot to grab the video. Some artist tried to do a flip off the stage and landed on his face.
I saw that.
Oh, damn it.
He's like, I'm going to be cool. But here's the thing. We'll probably get, I think, a little bit more into
all right, we still have time. I'll bring it for next week's show.
Yeah, we got this weekend. The weekend that's coming up right now is the second weekend of Coachella. We still have time. I know there was some talk about Lady Gaga doing stuff. Nothing too crazy. She's doing all her new stuff. Casey in the chat here saying apparently Yo Gabba Gabba killed it. I believe they did Yo Gabba Gabba and then Weird Al joined them.
It was Aquabats, right?
Was it the Aquabats?
Was it? Because the guy Lance from the Aquabats did the Yo Gabba Gabba stuff.
Yeah, but I also know that they had like all the guys dressed up as the characters, and they had the host of Yo Gabba Gabba on there. So like they had it up.
That's so weird. That's like when Shauna Na showed up at Woodstock. You know, it's like what? That's the novelty act. But I get it. Yo Gabba Gabba was obviously not of our time, but we knew of it because of their ties with the Aquabats.
Yeah,
growing
so they
up.
had DJ Lance Rock,
and it was one of those.
All the stuff.
It was one of those children's shows that wasn't idiotic. It wasn't mind numbing, whatever. Yeah, it was creative with the music, and then it had that Sid and Marty Krofft kind of feel to it too. Mm-hmm. Sharon Lois and Bram's The Elephant Show, Eureka's Castle, any of those shows that had the costumes and puppetry that wasn't Barney. Barney was kind of mind-numbing.
Ugh.
No, that's what's his name getting drunk. Yeah, I can't figure it out. We'll find it for next week. Put it on our sheet as a reminder note. We'll get that clip of the guy falling off. Anyway, point I was trying to get at. The only thing I could find, and it wasn't making any news, and I don't know why it didn't, because it should be pointed out. Do you know who Noah Cyrus is?
The brother of Miley and the other. Oh, wait, is Noah the girl or the boy?
Close.
Yes. I know there's a Cyrus brother, and then there's the girl. Okay, so that's the.
There's the other one who has the band Metro Station.
Right. Okay, that's.
I forgot what his name is. Tyler, Trevor.
Maybe.
Imagine his name is Cypress Cyrus or something like that.
Cypress Cyrus.
Yeah. Although that would be a fucking great mashup. If you did any of the Cyrus family with Cypress Hill, like they did the London Symphony Orchestra,
just like a mix, yeah.
You Don't Bring Me Flowers, and then it's Hits from the Bomb.
Trace Cyrus.
Okay. Noah Cyrus, the youngest of the Cyrus clan, has a music career. I don't really fully understand what her music career is, but she always posts things where she's dressing super gothic. And I guess over in Europe, she walks a lot of fashion shows. And she's always wearing weird shit for fashion's sake, I guess, trying to be,
looking at her picture, and she's just horrific.
Kind of Lady Gaga. Yeah, she had a lot of work done. She was sort of cute. Excuse me. She was kind of cute. Kid, teenager, even, when she was hitting her early adult years. And then it looks like she's had a lot of work done, right? She was doing some weird shit where she was bleaching her eyebrows white. And she's definitely
the pictures I'm seeing where she's got that Lady Gaga look where like, where's your eyebrows?
Yeah, she's deathly pale. And she was bleaching her eyebrows white. She was doing all this weird kind of nonsense. So she shows up at Coachella. And because it's a haven for elitist and spoiled rich kids, celebrities, influencers. It's not really a concert that regular people go to. So because of that, you've got AP, you've got Getty, you've got all those photography outfits out there, snapping photos in every direction. Well, Noah Cyrus shows up, and she's wearing booty shorts and a white outfit. Look at this thing here. Look at this leg.
It's quite a leg,
right?
I hate those boots that go like that high. Like, it just seems uncomfortable.
That's what you're getting from this is the boots. Look at the monstrosity. There's like Quado coming out of her leg here. Look at this thing. It's almost Krang. But I had to zoom in there. Look at this. So there's been speculation online. A lot of people are saying, leave her alone. People have cellulite. That's what happens. That's not cellulite. It looks like she's been getting implants. Like she's got these weird wide, like wider than usual hips, like a Kim Kardashian wide hip situation. But she's been doing something with the posterior region here. Look at the color discoloration right here. Look at the line going. Oh, you can't see where my mouse is drawing, but look at the line down.
No, use your hands.
All right. Look at the line where it's coming down from the side of her, like her hip there, down the back part of her thigh. It looks like she's had some kind of botched implants.
It looks like
something.
there's some there was probably some work done because there was a definitive like curve and then it just stops.
Yeah,
and then does this weird.
So
shapes.
It looks like
it's the best way to describe it.
It looks like she has implants.
Mm-hmm.
And there were people that were known for having, being ass shakers that went even further to have stuff. Cardi B was another one. When she first came out, because she was a stripper and she had all those moves and everything, she would be doing that stuff. But then you'd see her later on, even now when you see her like clips show up on TMZ of her at a party or an event, she's always dropping it low and twerking and shit like that. But you could see too where the ass moves and then the implant in there is moving separate from the ass shaking, and you go, oh, she's padded. Like whatever that is that they're inserting into there. I don't know. Is it like Is it like one of those things that you put in the sneakers for extra padding? I don't know what it is they're shooting in there. This is
when you said that, it made me think not like extra like Dr. Scholl's like insoles. I kept thinking Reebok pump. Like she's pumping it up to get it bigger.
Yeah, she's got the tennis ball ass that she's in there.
I had the basketball one, but she had the very coveted tennis ball that never really was around. That is funny.
Yeah, but look at that. That is just it's
not a good look. Like, and my thing is, I'm all for people being body positive about their own stuff, but like, you have to know that you're not really projecting a great image of yourself doing this. Like,
no,
because right now it looks like she's in a diaper,
and it looks like she's got some kind of tattoo that's coming out the front part there.
I could see that. Yeah, right on like her hip.
Frankie Bronson saying she has an elephant leg.
Someone make a lamp out of it.
Chris is not Chris. Clever Swine is saying that it looks like an orc is on her thigh.
It looks like that orc that was leading the charge against I think Pelennor Fields.
Chris is saying she wanted to go all Iggy Azalea. Iggy's another one. Iggy's the one that has the extremely wide hip bone.
Right.
Like hers is almost too wide for her frame. Like it looks odd. I don't know if it's off-putting because I guess to some it's off-putting. To some people, they like big asses and big hips and stuff. But when you have Iggy's thing, if you look at her flat on, even when she's just wearing like a nice outfit, her hips go out way too far. Like she's wearing saddle pants. But in real, that's her real structure. And then they turn around and you look in the back and like, oh, there's somebody else that had a giant ass, but then they also had injections. Was it collagen injections or?
Yeah, collagen.
She had something there done because it looks like this looks like a water stain on the back. I don't know that this should be a bigger story than it is, and it's not a story by any means. We're making it a story. Yes,
we're the one doing it.
That's the outfit she walked in there. From the hips up. Kind of normal, typical LA kind of look. From the hips down, it's like, ooh, she was sitting on a road, like a hot gravel road for the longest time. That is terrible. Old Restless in the chat, fake asses are the worst. Yeah, they are. They are pretty terrible. Frankie saying, just put a sign on your body saying, I want to Jesus Christ.
Yeah, don't.
All right. I mean, I get what you're saying, but... Yeah. But he said, yeah, but black guys like that, white guys find this disgusting. I guess that is true.
I'm appalled.
Hellraiser, our pal Hellraiser in there. Why? Yeah, I don't know. This is why people do all of this stuff. But that's the biggest news coming out of Coachella so far. There's really been absolutely nothing happening. And you know what? Maybe that is a good thing. I don't know. Anytime you all misbehave, that ass is going right back up on the screen.
That's our background, though.
All right.
Brought this on yourselves.
Moving on. Do we do Mickey Rourke or do we do Blue Origin?
I feel like Mickey Rourke can be quick because there's going to be a lot of it, that Blue Origin stuff.
Okay. Let's do Mickey Rourke then. When last we talked, we found out that Mickey Rourke was on Celebrity Big Brother over in the UK. And apparently things were not going well because people were not having, they were having a lot of issues with things that he was saying, the way he was acting, and then throwing gay slurs at JoJo Siwa, former beauty pageant contestant, or from what I understand.
Yeah, I think it was
one of those kids pageant shows.
Pageant mom thing.
And then I guess a Nickelodeon thing that she had too. I had stated in the other video that I found her on the front of a box of cereal. That's how I was like, who is this kid? Why does she have her own cereal? And that's when I discovered she existed. So last we left Mickey Rourke, he had to be talked to by the producers of the show. And we found out it wasn't just he had to be talked to because he was throwing slurs at JoJo Siwa. It was also because he was talking about having to be called into the producers. You're not supposed to talk about some of the inner sanctums, the workings of how the game and the show run. So by him coming out and saying, yeah, I got talked to and, had to apologize to JoJo Siwa, but then it's saying, yeah, I had talked to and everything. He violated their rules a third time because then you found out he was called in once for talking about the way the show and the game runs, and you're not supposed to do that. Second time was the stuff he was saying about JoJo. And then saying he's like, yeah, they had to talk to me about this stuff. That brought the third violation of him talking again about the show that you're not supposed to talk about.
Right.
Well, now, when we last left him, we didn't know if he was going to be voted off because they only had about 4 days left or something, or 4 days till the next eviction, and he was just counting the days so he could leave.
He was on a list of 3 people in the running to get voted off.
Okay, so he was expecting to be voted off and going home, and they did not vote him off, which one is smartest by the contestants. 2, if the producers had anything to do with it, smart on their part, because like we had said, there are shows that had contestants that were a bit problematic, but brought ratings. When you get the guys like, I'm going to be the bad boy of this show, or we're the clique and we're going to vote everyone out, and they're just being catty, and everyone thinks, oh, they're vicious and cunning, and you go, this is the hard R. No, wait, that we're not saying the hard R anymore, right? Wait, what were we doing with the hard R? Was that for the other word or for the word we wanted to use?
We're not using the one slur, we're using the other, if that clears it up.
What a very pretty retard.
Yeah, that one.
There it is.
Okay, so, you got these people in there and like, oh, they're the problem. This is why I watch the show. It's so good. And you look at them and you go, this guy or gal would get their teeth kicked in the real world for acting like this. Mickey Rourke is an old version of Hollywood, plus years of substance abuse and mental damage and whatever.
Getting punched in the face, and he's
a unicorn.
He's a boxer,
right? So we were advocating, yes, what he said wasn't the best, but for television, for ratings, you got to leave him on. So that brings
100%.
That brings us to now, where this footage here is going to show you that he got into a scuffle during some segment where they're all cosplaying as pirates for some reason.
Well, they're also bringing back the hard R.
Yeah, and this is where we're going to meet up with and find out what's going on with Mickey Rourke.
How have things been going out here? There is a rat amongst us, Captain.
Oh, yeah, real rat.
Real rat. Step back in line, soldier. Rat.
A rat face.
Yeah, rat.
What is the point of
A rat face.
Stand still, rat.
I don't know.
A rat.
But look at that. That one guy.
The young male model is mean mugging.
Yeah, he's staring him down a little bit. And
volatile Mickey Rourke. Like, what is the dumbest thing you can do right now is stare down Mickey Rourke for no reason.
Right. So now Mickey's seeing this and he goes, oh, I know what this is. Now, like, the proverbial gloves are off.
Yeah, he's waving that little red fucking thing in front of a bull.
Right. And the
here we go.
Apparently gay gentleman in between. Look at him. He's like, oh my God, there's tea a brewing.
He's
there's
like
tea
he's like
a
Lawrence of
brewing.
Arabia.
Yeah. That also might be the show title. Did I actually come up with a show title for once? Usually it's never me. Tea a brewing. That sounds, I mean, it's all we got so far. I'm sure we'll have better contenders later on. But anyway, look at him. He's like, he just wants to go, oh my God. Look at this.
Oh no.
Mickey.
Stay good for me.
Ahoy!
You looking at me?
Ahoy! You're not the captain of this ship. Ahoy!
Ahoy, and holding a
is
plastic
pissed.
saber in front of them. JoJo thinks like this is going to get everybody in order.
Right.
I'm a real captain. We're playing pirates right now. And he took the sunglasses off. He's ready to throw down. Look at you got the curved sword in between his face right now. This is the kind
of reaction we all wanted from Mike Tyson during that fight. Like that you just looked at him funny and something flipped and you just can't stop him from continuing on this path.
Right. Frankie Bronson saying one of the craziest transformations in Hollywood history. He looks like a completely different person. So many good movies, 100%. Though. Pope of Greenwich Village, Rumblefish, Year of the Dragon, even The Wrestler. He was great in The Wrestler, too.
Diner was great. Like, he was great in that one.
I don't think I've seen
Diner's a good one.
Subdivisions, our pal Chris saying, if you slap Mickey Rourke, his entire face will crumble like Mr. Potato Head. It's actually made of pure Play-Doh.
His face looks like the back of Noah Cyrus's leg.
Mickey's face.
It's Mickey's face, everybody.
All right, let's continue with this. Nope, that's that's almost as equally as
different
bad.
Face, different bad face.
Okay, hold on.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
We're going back here.
Back up, soldier.
Don't eyeball me. Mickey, it's a joke. Don't fucking eyeball me.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wait, why'd they bleep one thing but not another?
That's another thing. It's like they left him dropping the F-bomb, but what did the other say? What did the other guy say that had to be beeped?
I don't know.
Did he drop the C-bomb?
I feel like they use the C-bomb like it's like punctuation in everything in British.
Well, that is true. They do that, but imagine like you find out he just said, you little bitch, and I'm like, you beeped that, but left him.
That's the one. Yeah, because they don't want to make him look bad.
I guess so. Here we go.
He was joking.
This is Big Brother. What did you say?
He was joking. No, please, he was joking. Please.
Don't have the fucking word.
Yes. All right. I got to bring it back a little bit more here. Yeah. So he keeps dropping the F-bomb. They don't censor it.
Mickey.
Stick up for me.
Ahoy!
You looking at me?
He's telling the other
Stick
waifish
up for me?
little guy next to him, stick up for me. Like if he comes swinging at me, you guys have my back, right?
Yeah.
The
this
two
guy who's
surrounding
a foot
him,
shorter than Mickey Rourke, is going to be a problem for Mickey.
yeah. All Mickey has to do is just lift an elbow, and that guy's gone. And then this guy here on his left is going to go run away crying and explore his feelings while all this is happening.
Oh my God.
Ahoy! You're not the captain of this ship. Ahoy! Back up, soldier.
Don't eyeball me. Mickey, it's a joke. Fucking don't fucking eyeball me.
Now, had
This guy's trying to be a hard ass.
Mm-hmm. Right. Pretty boy's trying to be a hard. He's baiting him, is what it is.
The gay guy's like, it's a joke. Everybody stop. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Now, if
Get it off.
when I initially saw this, when JoJo's trying to get away, it's like, back in line, soldier, whatever she said.
Yeah, she's trying to.
He had his hand up and kind of just like trying, not shoving her, but just trying to prevent her from interfering. Mm-hmm. It would be great, being crazy Mickey Rourke, if he turned there and he just went like that and she went flying backwards.
Just shoves her back.
Yeah. Because then do you see security come running in and they tase him?
At that point, it's a hate crime.
Yeah, they tase him, they cuff him, whatever. All right, we're continuing on here.
Whoa.
This is Big Brother. What did you?
Now that's a producer or whoever's the narrator for it, whatever, trying to say like, "Oh, the voice of God's coming in. You all better behave for the show's rules." Mickey gives 0 Fs about any of this.
He's not listening.
No, please, he was joking. Please.
Don't have the fucking word. What are you gonna do? You piece of joke.
All right, he beeped that. Did he call him the ag?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Because if he said, what are you going to do, you fuck? But he left all the 3 other F-bombs that he dropped.
Right.
It's like they really are terrible at censoring.
Very selective with that button.
Yeah. Yeah, all the rest is like, yeah, he's a legit tough guy. Mickey Rourke's stories of boozing and fighting and other kind of things are legendary. And you're going to have this pretty model-looking influencer guy. It's like, I could step up. I work out. You've got a glass jaw. It just takes one crack from him swinging wildly and you're gone. Yeah. Chris, remember, Mickey was a hardcore boxer. Yeah, that's all. It's like when Tyson would do the little rabbit tap and people would just go down, or if they got hit in the gut, they lost all their breath and they're keeled over. That's all it's going to take from him. And that's not even him cognitively fighting. That's muscle memory strength, where it's just, savage animal mode.
He flips that switch. He right now he's seeing red. He doesn't care.
Yeah. Chris is saying, he's like, well, the F-bomb is like the word the in the United States for the UK. All right, fair enough.
This is Big Brother. Mickey, come to the diary room immediately.
That's not even threatening. As the producer's
Mickey,
voice.
please stop and come and see us.
No, that's like, this is your captain speaking. Please return from the lavatory. We're about to experience turbulence. That's about as threatening as that voice sounds. Bunch of pussies over in the UK.
Fuck off, Mickey. I think it was a joke. It was a joke. Say it was a joke. It was a joke.
And see, the British guy even said fuck off. They didn't beep that. So what were they beeping?
Hi, Mickey. This is Big Brother. Please get the fuck over here.
No! Like when your dad's yelling from you, from like you're upstairs,
Right.
you won't come downstairs, your dad's at the bottom of the stairs yelling at you.
We asked him to come up. He just wouldn't.
Yeah. We've politely told him that this is a real inconvenience. And it's bothering a lot of people. Please remove yourself from the situation. He refused to do so. Yeah, he's also pissing on your front carpet here. Why don't you man up and manhandle this guy? See how that goes. Casey's saying, clearly Mickey Rourke doesn't care what happens to his face. He'll take the hit and destroy that guy. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Zero fucks, zero cares with him. You can't tase Mickey Rourke unless you want his face to melt like the guy in front of the Arcane Raiders.
Just don't look, Eric. Don't look. Whatever you hear, don't look.
No, your ass will be right there in a second.
Mickey, come to the diary room immediately.
Again, Mickey, come to the diary room.
Please, Mickey Rourke, to the front desk.
That's
Mr.
like
Herman.
that's like when a teacher is telling the children in the class to stop fighting.
Down.
Yeah, but they just hucked a desk at another child.
Yeah,
and you're
but
like,
they'd be doing this. They'd be doing Coyote is the new thing.
I am going to count to 3. You are going to be sent outside to think about what you did. Imagine
Mickey,
that's
can
the.
You
Can you believe that's the punishment?
Please?
He's gonna have to sleep outside with that what is it? AstroTurf backyard that they have there. He's got to sleep on the couch for the night.
I kind of still want to know why they're doing this as a Pirates. I'm in for it, but
okay. I mean, they always have weird stunts and games going on.
They want you in the diary room.
It was a joke.
Let's go in the diary room.
I'm dressed in a fucking...
What if he had one of those little short knives that pirates have and just shanked him?
But it's a real one. Like Joe just was like
it was just
at,
it's
Spirit
his
store, and he's like, I brought my own knife.
Yeah, it was lined in his suitcase that they never examined, and he has all this weaponry. He has brass knuckles, all of that fun
All
stuff.
right, stop, Chris.
Keep talking.
Chris, let's go in the diary room.
With pleasure.
Yeah, no, just.
His head.
I know, darling.
That was a joke.
Oh, the gay guy's crying. Oh no.
Yeah, well, it's a very emotional.
Okay, so now he's walking towards this trippy romper room looking. Yeah.
Earlier.
It kind of looks like, remember when they were trying to rebuild Ned's house after the hurricane and the hallway looks like it's long, but it just gets smaller?
On, we tried our best.
Yeah, and he walks into the room full of electricity.
Oh, here
Earlier
we are.
today,
Lisa
in a
Simpson answering
disagreement
the
with
question
Chris.
that no one asked.
Yeah. All right, now here's, I've been trying
What
to
is
find
this
this other
seat?
clip. They're going to say he did something else too, and I looked. I could not find the other clip. Otherwise, I would have this here. But there's just people talking about what he said, and we'll get to that in a second. Now he's in this room that looks like it's something out of heavy metal. The way he's sitting on this chair here, and they're going to read the charges or the violations against him.
Agreement with Chris. Your language and behavior was threatening and aggressive.
Right.
Big Brother does not tolerate threatening language or behavior.
Right.
In addition, you have used inappropriate sexual language to Ella.
I'm not aware of that, but okay.
All right, so
That I haven't seen. I haven't seen any footage of what he was saying.
yeah, I looked all over. So apparently, when you're playing the game, if you win certain achievements, they have like a master bedroom that you could win for the week and you stay there. It's your room, so you don't have to share rooms with other people. And in that room, they have all kinds of luxuries and commodities and stuff in there. So you go in, you've got fresh towels, you've got all kinds of snacks and alcohol and whatever. So she was talking about something crisps, potato chips here in the United States. Go in there. And she's talking about the food, and he's like, oh, I think he was saying something along the lines that he wanted some of that. And she goes, well, you can't go in there. And he goes, oh, really? And she said, yeah, you'll have to come with me. And he goes, come and you? And she goes, no, come with me. And apparently that was, that later became upsetting because she's another I don't know the full story about this Ella Ray Wise, I think her name is. But she's had like a history of sexual trauma and all these other things, as you know they do on these shows. And because he made a come in her joke, that all of a sudden this was just unbearable for her. She had a meltdown. She was crying. She couldn't handle life. She couldn't figure out how things work. And
it's hard to believe that a country that spawned Austin Powers would have a cum joke problem.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that country's not the country we used to know over there anymore. They get in trouble for
not the swinging 60s anymore, Eric.
They post things on social media and they go to jail for it.
I know. I've seen some of that.
It's ridiculous.
You have used inappropriate sexual language to Ella.
I'm not aware of that, but okay.
He's like, oh, okay. Did I? I don't know. I don't know half the shit I say. Yeah.
This language has caused offense to your fellow housemates and could cause offense to the viewing public.
Oh, fuck off with that. It's like, I don't know how our viewers...
Trust me, they're watching because of him doing this.
Yeah, I don't know how our viewers will stay... we may lose viewers because of the things that you're saying. No, you're probably going to get more people subscribing to this stupid shit to watch this stuff and like, what? He's unhinged? He's drunk
really
half the
only
time?
Reason why I care, to be honest with you.
The only reason we give a shit about it is because it's Mickey Rourke being Mickey Rourke. What if we got... Look, we talked about generational Big Brother house. Young rappers and old school rappers together because the younger rap community doesn't value or honor those that came before them.
Right.
That generational divide. Put them in the house there. What if you put all the crazies in there? You've got Gary Busey. You got Mickey Rourke. You've got what was the redheaded comic that held up the severed head of Trump and she got in trouble? Kathy Griffin?
Yeah, Kathy Griffin, yeah.
Put all these unhinged people there. Rosie O'Donnell. Throw them all in there and just have them all have their fights and their meltdowns. Keith Olbermann. Put him in there. For his fucking nonsense. This continues.
Put Andy Dick in there, but like make him full drugged out Andy Dick.
Fully loaded bar, Easter egg hunts. Sometimes they find a baggie taped under a desk. Good on them. That's their bonus for the week.
Right.
Let
just
them.
Pay him in illegal drugs.
Let them.
It would be fine.
You just don't put real weapons in there. Maybe like, training nunchucks and Nerf bats. That kind of stuff.
That'd be so fun.
Red Tower, I've never heard a more soulless voice than that British announcer. Yeah, there's no sense of authority, of fear. It's supposed to be like the voice of God scenario. And if I heard this, you did the following things. Yeah, I did. And what? We're going to have... Yeah, we might kick you out.
We're all very cross with you right now.
You may kick me out. Do it. And watch your numbers tank for the rest of the season.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care anymore now that he's gone. Like, this would be it. We'll never talk about it again.
All right. You kept Nabisco and some beer company on board by getting rid of me, but your ratings tanked.
A murderous pirate? Well, that's not the image of Long John Silver's.
That's a good one, too. Let's see.
Right. This is not the first time Big Brother has had to speak to you about your offensive and inappropriate language.
I did wrong. I apologize. I'm sorry.
I had to do jump cuts and stuff for this because there was a lot of gaps of him sitting there.
There's a lot of filler in some of that.
No, it wasn't even filler. It was a lot of dead pauses where he's sitting there trying to...
I'm saying, like, just gaps. Like,
he's trying to remember, did I say that? Was this a thing? Oh, maybe I did. Or he was like this and going, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with what I did. So I had to do a lot of the jump cuts just to keep this thing moving because he just sat there and was... I don't know, waxing poetic, or maybe he zoned out, didn't know what was going on. Who knows? But we just didn't have the time for that.
Over the line, and I take responsibility for doing the wrong thing because I lost my temper, and I've been trying to work on it my whole life. Wish I would have had better self-control, and I'm very sorry. I'm ashamed of myself for losing it. Nobody got touched or hurt, or maybe some feelings got hurt, or maybe others have feelings about someone getting upset
about something. Other people have feelings, I guess.
Fucking feelings.
Bunch of fucking crybabies out there. I only lit 2 fires.
I'm sorry about that.
Big Brother considers your language and behavior today to be seriously unacceptable.
Yeah, there's more coming here. Chris saying, I'm sorry, if I'm in the UK, I'm turning on old episodes of Are You Being Served in Faulty Towers. They seem 10,000 times better than this. I agree with you.
They're talking about language. Do you know in Are You Being Served how many jokes about a pussy was being made? And this was in the 70s and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't handle Mickey Rourke getting in some male model's face.
I'm voting out the lesbian.
Ridiculous.
Oh, how dare you say that? Really? Okay. Benny Hill used to essentially molest scantily clad women while running at double speed.
Right.
And this was one of the nation's biggest honors.
Yeah.
The most treasured. Yeah, it was a cultural movement for the United Kingdom.
And behavior today to be seriously unacceptable. And as a result, Big Brother has no option but to ask you to leave the Big Brother house.
My bad. You know, I got a short fuse.
He does not care. He's
that
like,
was my favorite reaction to anything that they just told him. We're kicking you out. My bad.
The only other version, the only thing that would have been as funny is him sitting there and going,
well,
okay.
All right.
And
cool.
What?
Oh, that is, I didn't see his reaction to that.
Yeah,
that's funny.
There's still more to go. Big Red Tower in the chat saying even Mickey's friends and family are afraid to tell him he whistles when he uses an S. Yeah, everyone's terrified of this guy. But then if you don't have to deal with him on a personal level, you want him at a party. You want him in the room just for entertaining purposes. You want to see and hear what he's going to say and do next.
And I know I upset a lot of people out there. You know, I went over the line. You know, I did wrong.
Oh, wait, where's the okay?
And as a result...
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm sorry about that.
Big Brother considers your language and behavior today to be seriously unacceptable. And as a result, Big Brother has no option but to ask you to leave the Big Brother house.
My bad.
I may want to isolate that. Just the pause. Not even just the word, just a long pause and goes,
yeah, he's
my
just
bad.
Just staring off in the middle distance. She's like, my bad.
Oh, I got a short fuse, and I know I upset a lot of people out there. You know, I went over the line. You know, I did wrong. I guess I could say I'm a work in progress. I just want to pack my bags and leave. You know, I wanted to leave yesterday, actually, but I wasn't chosen. I'd like to leave now.
It's like I've been trying to get off this damn TV show since I got here.
Get out of here anyway. I got things to do.
I guess the equivalent would be like, you know, you didn't. It's like, oh, a cruise seemed like a good idea if you're not a cruise person, and then you get on there and you realize you're trapped on a boat for 7, or if you got the 14-day cruise.
You didn't realize you booked a longer cruise than what you originally thought.
And it's like, I can't get out of here for 2 weeks. I'm stuck here in this thing. I've been trying to run off at islands, but they keep finding me. I have nowhere to go. My bad. I'd like to do more if I could.
I mean, I tried to get out of here yesterday. No one would get rid of me.
Yeah. Frankie Bronson saying, this is what I mean about actors getting paid jack and all. Despite all illusions, Hollywood gives out that a legend of this business needs to do a shitty reality TV show to pay the bills. Part of it is, you know, he's from a time where you didn't get back end points. You didn't get royalties for TV shows. You didn't get percentages in merchandising sales. You didn't have all of that stuff. So, like nowadays, people get that stuff. They're down on their luck. They're screwed. What can you do? Or sometimes they were big movie stars and just their ego or their substance abuse got the best of them, and it pissed all their money away. So they're doing exactly what they can, and this is somebody. It's not what he wanted to do. Somebody talked him into do this. It's like, okay, you got to do this now. This is all. You've got a mortgage payment to make. You're gonna have to go do this this dog food commercial in Japan. Remember that old adage was he does commercials in Japan because I had the cart. One of the best things we had on Opie and Anthony. I'll tell you this right now. Go and look for, it was a time we had Michael Madsen on. And we went through a whole bunch of his movies on IMDb. And we said, could you tell us about why you did these movies? And he broke down why he did the movies. He had to pay for a kid's college. He had to pay for a new car. He had insurance. He had to pay for a house. He got divorced. Like whatever it was. He tells you why he made these movies.
There is a very notorious interview out there with Michael Caine, talking about why he did Jaws 4, a notoriously terrible movie. And he goes, because my wife wanted a pool.
Yeah.
Like he was not invested in it in any way. He just needed the paycheck to get a pool put in. Like these are the jobs that sometimes they do. This was exactly what this was for him. I know I'm going to get paid. Kick me out. I don't care.
Casey in the chat saying, but also his tight pink shirt, it's giving lesbian.
Well, they voted the lesbian out, finally. They finally got her.
He said, yes, he said, I'm going to vote the lesbian out. And apparently they're doing that right now. Frankie's saying, yeah, substance abuse might be it. Look, in his case, it could also be, what is it, CTE?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
From boxing?
Way too many times in that.
Yeah, it's that substance abuse, probably people milking him for his money. And there's a lot of variables at play with him. All right, let's continue here.
A lot of people out there, I went over the line. I did wrong. I guess I could say I'm a work in progress. I just want to pack my
The
bag.
man's 72 years old.
leave.
How much work in progress are you?
I wanted to leave yesterday, actually, but I wasn't chosen. I'd like to leave now. Actually.
I campaigned.
That's the show title. I wanted to leave yesterday.
I campaigned so hard. I spent all kinds of money. I really was out there trying to get the vote, enough signatures to leave, and they just wouldn't let me off the show.
They just keep letting me stay.
What was this title? What did you tell me?
I wanted to leave yesterday.
Okay. What he's saying is another thing that we did on O&A. The show Dancing with the Stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one season they had on Jerry Springer. And
I remember that one.
We were good friends with Jerry Springer. He would come on the show all the time. He actually filled in for several days when Opie disappeared for a month. But we decided it would be funny that if our audience, who doesn't watch Dancing with the Stars, but we love Jerry passed the first round, I guess, and he was there, and then he was. Every time they talked to him, he's like, I'm old. He's like, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And he was looking forward to eventually being voted off.
Yeah.
And we decided, oh, no, you're not. So you can find that on YouTube as well.
Not on our watch.
Where our audience kept hammering every time there was voting. We gave out the number, where to go online to do whatever. Jerry kept winning by the public vote. He wasn't winning the dance votes from the judges, but he kept winning from the public, so he was not getting eliminated. And we kept him on for weeks. And he couldn't figure out why. And then he came in after the tour, because usually what would happen is you'd have certain deals with certain publicists. So like if contestants lost on a show and they were eliminated that week, they would do the rounds of the talk shows, the morning shows, all of that stuff. So they would be at Sirius. And when he finally did get voted off, we were told, Jerry's coming, get him on the show. And then we had to tell him on the air that, yeah, because of us, we kept you on there for 6 weeks. He was not happy, but he was laughing at it, the fact that was going on. Finishing up with Mickey here. Did we finish his whole thing? Let me see.
To leave yesterday, actually, but I wasn't chosen. I'd like to leave now, actually.
Okay, that was the last of it. Okay.
So real quick, an update on this. As of today, April 16th, Mickey Rourke is pursuing legal action against Celebrity Big Brother UK. Apparently, they're saying, they exited. In a statement shared with People, Rourke's manager, Kimberly Hines, addressed his early departure and claimed that the series had disrespected the star by publicly embarrassing him and refusing to pay him his dues.
Yeah.
So it looks like whatever amount of time he was going to be on the show, they owed him the paycheck. And because they kicked him off, they're saying we don't owe him anything. And now he's going to be suing. So this actual saga may go on a little bit longer. We may have some more stuff to talk about.
I hope it does. I hope it does. And because of that, other shows start rallying to get him on their show.
Oh, I would.
Yeah.
I would 100% get him on.
Dude, if you had... I don't know, is Survivor even still on anymore? Or
I want to see him on Jeopardy. Get him on Celebrity Jeopardy.
No, that's a one and done thing. That's not big enough. You need something where he's contained. Like when they used to do I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here, and they'd send you to an island.
Put him on an island or something.
Yeah, so like Survivor or
Survivor would be good.
Well, what's the Naked and Afraid? Where they drop you off at a beach, take your clothes.
We just put Mickey Rourke on the island. Everyone's just afraid. No one's even disrobed yet.
Yeah. So it's just Mickey Rourke and some lady who has no idea who he is, and they're just getting bit by snakes and mosquitoes. They're trying to make a makeshift shelter out of bamboo and leaves, and they got to survive for several days to get to the not the checkpoint? What is the pickup point? Whatever it's called.
Like that.
Or put them on one of those dating shows where you're there for a while. Bring back Rock of Love.
Rourke of Love.
Rourke of Love. There you go. Bring it on VH1. I don't even know if VH1's still a channel, but
I don't think it is.
Put it on who owns it? Paramount. Put it on Paramount then. Do Rourke of Love, where he's there. He has no idea why he's in this mansion. And then there's
He
just
doesn't even know why he's there, but there's women everywhere.
12 beautiful young women who have no idea who he even is. And they just know they think he's some sort of like eccentric millionaire. And they got to compete for his love.
In the cast members from this version of this Big Brother. And then like when they replace a woman, it's one of them. And then like, he starts freaking out thinking he's still on the other show.
Yeah, Rourke of Love would be perfect.
Rourke of Love would be fantastic.
What's the other one? There's like an older version of that show I hate, The Bachelor. There's an older version where I think it's called Golden Bachelor.
Yeah,
it's where they do the really old people.
They're not even that old.
Well, he's in his 70s, so I think that qualifies.
Well, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, if you put him on Golden Bachelor. No, I think Rourke of Love is definitely the way to go. Where he just shows up. There's all these scantily clad women. Some of them.
I think you have to. That would be fun, but contain him even more. Do another Road Rules where you've got to get him inside a smaller, contained, tight, contained area with other people, and that would just cause way too many issues. You know, you put him in a Winnebago with like 4 other people going across country. Oh.
Hellraiser saying, why not? Paramount gave Stallone a reality show. Right. And then they have what's the one that's, I don't know the title, but the one with Alec Baldwin and his family.
Oh, God, I know. Yeah, I forget the title.
People tuned in the first week or two because it was all about the trial and the movie thing. And then after that, it had nothing to do with it. It's just him being a doddering old fool. Like, I don't know how to get to Stu Leonard's and buy stuff. It's like...
I honestly am starting to think he's in an abusive relationship because there was a clip that I saw of him and his wife, Hilaria.
Yeah.
And he was telling a story and he was holding this little dog, much like Mickey Rourke does with his little chihuahua. And he was holding the little dog and he was talking about how he's deathly allergic to cats and cat hair, and he'll need like epinephrine and going to a hospital and stuff like that. And they keep shooting a shot of his wife just giving this look like she's up to something. And he's telling the story, and as the story goes on, he goes, and then at one time I said, we can't do this. We can't have cats. I'm deathly allergic. She comes home with 4 cats. And like the look on her face was like almost saying,
her face or his
I'm
face?
ready to kill this guy.
Oh, okay.
And she is a monster. And I'm just sitting there going, maybe I think he might be in an abusive relationship. Like so much shit came out about him to where he can't ever like let go of his emotions anymore after like calling his daughter something and the whole Kim Basinger thing. And now I think he's just getting abused by this.
What did he call his daughter? A fat pig or something?
Something like that. Yeah. It was like a message he left on her phone.
Yeah. That's another.
It was a whole
We did that on O&A too. Those voicemails where he was calling her a disgusting pig or something like that.
Something like that.
I just want to see him just, walking aimlessly in in a Walmart or a supermarket and he's just doing
shopping with Mickey.
No, he's just staring at the products, not knowing what to make of anything. He's there holding the bottles of ketchup. Yeah.
Ketchup.
Ketchup. Are you here to solve my ketchup problem?
Yeah, it's that. He's just sitting there. He's looking for the Burnzos. He picks up Frankenberry and he goes, well, this kind of looks like me. And just goes home.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Oh, Pablo C in the chat. E-Rock, shout out from Ireland. Love seeing you with Anthony and Jimmy on the WABC show. Longtime O&A fan. Thank you very much, sir. Glad to have you stop in here. Feel free to like and subscribe and come hang out with us each and every week. Pablo also asking a question. Does Celebrity Big Brother air in the United States on cable or what? No, it does not. A lot of those shows are usually regionally locked. So you have to have like VPNs and be able to access the streaming services that they have over there. I guess if what do they have over? No, it's not a BBC property. It's ITV.
Yeah, it's on Channel 4, I think, out there.
So you might have it through BritBox or you might have it through Acorn TV. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if network shows like that. They're considered reality shows. They're not game shows, right? The reality shows.
Yeah, the reality.
Yeah, I don't know if those are on those things there, but you can find everything through YouTube at some point. People put the clips up there and that's how you find it.
Yeah, I think it's on ITV out there now. You started off on Channel 4, so.
Yeah. Frankie's question. Well, that's the Nightbot. Frankie is questioning. Is like, hey, there's no Pablos in Ireland. That is a fair point. Pablo saying ITV in the UK, Virgin Media here. Yeah. It's all Richard Branson stuff. By the way, Richard Branson no longer in the space race.
Ooh.
They had way too many problems with their glider and gave up on all that stuff. So, all right, that's it for the Mickey Rourke stuff. Let's get over to the Blue Origin stuff because that's the most important thing here. This week, I think it was Monday that it went up.
Monday.
Blue Origin. If you're not familiar, it's the luxury space cruise that Jeff Bezos and his company. Does he have a parent company does like Amazon own Blue Origin, or is that separate? Like Elon has SpaceX and X and Tesla.
I can look. I don't know. It might just be his own thing. So let me look.
Big Red Tower saying Blue Waffle Origin. Yes, that's the new ship that they're coming out with. Anyway, so his space program, Blue Origin, took Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez. Is that his fiance?
That's his fiance.
Gayle King, here in the United States, known as Oprah's best friend, also an anchor on CBS This Morning. Amanda Guyon. I don't know who she is.
So.
I don't know who the other three are. Aisha Bowe and Carrie Ann Flynn. I'm not familiar with them.
I believe Aisha Bowe is the black woman from, I believe.
Why she gotta be black?
Because she was black. And currently still black. I think she was an actual rocket scientist for NASA. I don't know what she's doing now, but she was a rocket scientist for NASA. So, and then Amanda Nguyen was a former NASA astronaut candidate, and then sexual assault survivor advocate. So those are like really the only two like scientists. Everybody else was like some kind of celebrity.
Gotcha.
That's what we need to send Mickey up on. Just put him in my capsule.
Celebrity space program.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time they go up, it's the episode of Deep Space Homer.
And it's always Mickey Rourke in there too. They walk in and he's just sitting there. He's like, "Let's do this."
Gary Busey opens up a bag of potato chips, and they're like, "Careful!
Oh no, they're
rigid."
pressurized.
Yeah. Yeah. Mickey Rourke's trying to open the door while they're trying to do a spacewalk. He wants to go out and smoke a cigarette.
Real quick, Blue Origin, it's a separate company, so it's like a private company. Founded 24 years ago. So he's been doing this for a while.
Right. So they sent all of these people up there. And it was supposed to be a monumental moment in our culture.
Was it?
It was supposed to be a triumph for advancing women's representation and women's rights. I don't know how it affects women's rights. You're allowed to go to space. I don't know who's stopping you from going to space other than
just can't vote on it.
Technology, physics, and money. It was supposed to be this super huge ordeal. And it has been met with hatred, criticism, mockery, if you will. I don't hate it, but I do mock it. And I do think a lot of it is ridiculous. I'm not saying it wasn't necessary from entertainment perspective. Very much necessary. And what they have to live with going forward with this, because this will never escape them now.
Again, I made the point of imagine going into space, a feat that not a lot of people have ever been to do. And you come back
what about
Earth.
the legs? The upper calf region? You know, those kind of things. Name other body parts. Go.
No.
God damn it.
More body parts.
Ruining the show.
Could you just imagine
I don't even want to
going
do
to
it
space
anymore.
and you're an idiot for doing so?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
So anyway, so I put together a nice little video package here of them. Who cares about it shooting up and into space and landing? As far as the fuselage of it landing, no one cares about that. Only anyone cares about is the giant part of the rocket that lands in the fucking tongs that Tesla's got. Not Tesla, but Elon's got for SpaceX. Right. That's impressive. Landing with a parachute in the desert. Okay, it's upright. I'll give you that.
Know what we care about? Just the tip.
Yeah, just the tip. Another thing. Everybody calling it the penis rocket. A lot of young people on TikTok. I'm
Target.com.
Yes. They sponsored the whole thing.
It's just leaving messages and product reviews, and they're just venting about the penis-shaped rocket.
A lot of these people are saying, oh, the irony of 6 women going up in space in a phallic-shaped rocket. They've been making fun of the shape of this rocket for over a decade now. This is not anything new. I don't know why this keeps coming up. Like, people think they thought of it and this was so unique and hilarious for it.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like the white vibrator thing that women use in porn. I get it, but we've all moved past that. So, yeah, the personal massager. As it's labeled.
It's not what it is.
So I put this together. We're going to watch them as they're in space being ridiculous. And the only thing that would be worse than this is TikTokers and influencers in there constantly not looking out the window at the planet, at the moon, at the vastness of space, maybe trying to see stars. Not looking at any of that stuff where they would be sitting there taking videos, why can't I stream to TikTok from here?
Fucking filming a Mr. Beast video up there.
Yeah, somebody's doing some kind of dance thing, playing with filters. You're only up there for 10 minutes and you wasted all your time futzing around with your fucking phone. Anyway, let's take a look at this here. So
1, 2, 3, taking up space!
Yes, you certainly are.
Certainly
are taking up space. Some of them more than others.
3 seats being taken up that could have been used for qualified people.
Why did they say this, and why did they think this was a good thing to shout? Like this was their one small step for man.
This is what's called performative feminism. They're just coming up with slogans. They redesign their outfits. Look at the space outfits. Could you imagine?
They're wearing wetsuits.
They've got their cleavage out. They've got makeup on. They've got their hair done. They're all wearing jewelry.
There's no signs of oxygen masks if something cracks, if a seal breaks.
Spacesuits, parachutes.
A helmet. From the
helmet would be nice. Pressurized helmet, just in case.
Just to protect your noggin as you're going through the atmosphere as flames are engulfing the outside of this capsule.
I'm going up in this capsule. I'm wearing the helmet that Mike Myers used to wear when he was tethered to the damn jungle gym. That's how much the protection I need.
I'm wearing the helmet Rick Moranis had in Spaceballs. Like taking all the protection that I can get, because if that thing lands with a parachute, there's no thrusters, there's no legs, there's no anything to thwart the projection or soften the landing. If that parachute goes, they're screwed. It's like the guy who jumped from space for Red Bull.
Because you're still going to be sitting in that capsule with all these women going, I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yeah. Asshole. Call me sir. God damn it. Different movie. Yeah, there's nothing up there. Nothing. It looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like when you would go on the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride at Disney, where you're like, oh, I'm underwater. But if you looked over the railing, you'd see that you walk down into the thing and it just makes it look like you're submerging, but you're on a track in a 4-foot tank. That's exactly. It's a jungle gym. It's a gym. It's like a bouncy house for these nothings. I would have
more fun putting a quarter into the little spaceship machine outside the fucking Kroger or something.
Right. So taking up space means what?
Space.
Oh, it's something about space.
Creating space for women to do more things and to be involved in processes.
This isn't advancing women's rights or
it's not
anything to do with women. This just makes them look worse. This is the equivalent of the Imagine video during COVID.
Oh, that was bad.
Sam, I keep saying Sam Simon, but it's not Sam Simon. That was the creator of The Simpsons. Sam Smith.
Sam Smith.
When he was sitting out in his courtyard of his mansion crying that he can't go see other people and he really feels the plight of the world because they were all trapped inside.
Oh, yeah.
It's those tone deaf things. There was something like last year that came out, remember? We said it's on that list too.
It's every time they do these things about like when the hurricanes were coming.
Oh, it was a vote thing. It was the vote thing with the Avengers.
That's right.
Yeah, it's all these things where you go, wow, you think this is a great idea, but it's to regular people, you're totally missing the mark on all of this stuff here. But they're taking up space, and boy, are they. So why there's no audio here is just because they always got to turn this into a cinematic experience. So there's fucking music and whatever. So I dropped it out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is just really dumb. So now they're just. It seems like what's the I know they call it the vomit comment, but the plane where they take you up and they do the rolls up and down the loops, so it looks like you're weightless, so they could film scenes for movies and what have you.
Yeah,
that's all this is. You're up there for what, 10 minutes?
It gets you the way you have to dip and then increase your speed. You're only getting about 20 to 25 seconds of weightlessness every interval.
Not the plane. What they're doing here.
Oh, they're maybe 11 minutes, maybe.
This looks like that, when you're playing Space Invaders and that one ship's going across the top and you're trying to shoot through the barriers and the space things to hit the extra points of that spaceship. That's what they're doing. All right, here she is with a daisy. I couldn't figure out the flower thing. Up until I found out that her kid's name is Daisy. I was not aware of that. I thought this was some weird hippie peace and love kind of nonsense.
Well, she looks so dead-eyed too. The way she's doing it, I was like,
there's a lot of hurt behind those eyes, and it's not just from Russell Brand. It's from years of Christian music and other things that the music industry has just destroyed her soul. So all right, once I realized that it was for her daughter, then I was like, all right, I'll take a step back from that. That I kind of get,
I don't. And I have kids.
Okay.
Screw her.
I like how they're all wearing their wetsuits. They're about to go boogie boarding.
Right. Designed by Lauren Sanchez, by the way. Like, she designed these suits.
You can buy them on Amazon.
Look, we brought toys.
To symbolize,
like every astronaut does on every space mission.
She brought I guess her flag. She's from Bermuda, I guess.
Yeah, the Bahamas, something like that.
See, this is the shit.
It's fine. But see, she was qualified to this. She's the rocket scientist. Good for you.
Right.
You're the first of, your country or, ethnicity or whatever to do this. That is a symbolic thing to do.
Right.
Katy Perry sang fucking Roar. Like, who cares? Oh, God, I hate her.
Views so hot, it'll melt your popsicle. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
She kissed a girl and she liked it.
Yeah. How many of them did you think she kissed? She had to have motorboated that Sanchez chick.
That's how she got on.
She's like, look, there's no cameras. Nobody will ever be able to prove it online. I'm going in. And she slowly floats over. She pushes off from one side to propulsion, lands right in her cleavage.
Yeah, it's a flotation device.
I would do that. And they're like, hey, space. It was an accident. What can you tell?
Also made with space grade material.
Right. I'm just taking up space. Thank you very much. That's the whole motto of this thing. So yeah, they're flying upside down. Then there. Now this capsule is coming down
fast.
This looks like it was stock footage from Lost in Space or some kind of cheesy old 60s futuristic space movie. It lands in the desert.
Yeah, they took off from Texas and landed back in Texas.
Other than the space shuttle, which they had to land, I believe, in California. When the shuttles used to have to come down?
Yeah, so
right?
they used to have, I've actually seen a shuttle glide in once when they were doing it back when they were landing them in California. Yeah, it was like the Mojave Desert.
I'm going to bring this up. You know what? I'm going to save this thing, but I'm going to bring it up again here later on. But for now, Old Redless is in the chat saying, Shatner went up, nobody mocked him. No, because people knew the value of him going up there. Mm-hmm. You could go through history and rattle off famous captains, be it for Air Force, Navy, sea vessels going back to pirate days or colonial times, any of those things here. But when it comes to space stuff, you always think of Enterprise and Captain Kirk. Say what you want about Star Wars, any other space property. They had an Enterprise space shuttle. They had an Enterprise rocket before that. They'll have an Enterprise, whatever the next thing is coming. It was symbolic of the space program. Him going up there was a cultural moment, meant something. But Shatner didn't come back down and say, I'm an astronaut. This was for the advancement of mankind. He came out and started saying, This was an amazing experience. I never thought I would be able to have this happen in my lifetime. It was so peaceful and dark and serene, and you'd be able to sit there in the vastness of space, and you think
he was waxing very poetic about.
He was taking it all in like you should. And meanwhile, at that point, Jeff Bezos is shaking a bottle of champagne next to him.
Pissed me off so much.
It's like, no, Shatner is
the oldest man in space for one,
right?
Iconic captain in sci-fi and in history. I mean, even if you think about how it advanced black women's rights when Uhura and they're fighting for her to be on TV, and they were the first
it was a milestone in civil
TV.
Rights for media, for the country. Yeah.
And you send this man up, he's waxing poetic about this how it makes you feel small in the universe and how amazing the experience is. And Bezos is like, give me that champagne. Woo! And then it's like, I fucking want to punch you in your goddamn.
Yeah, it's like he had the tub of Gatorade and was ready to dump it on Shatner. Like, yeah, we went to space.
Dies of hypothermia.
Snaps him with the wet towel right on his ass as he's talking to CBS. Pablo C saying, yeah, Shatner was appropriate, especially at his age. Right. And when he came back, he was really speaking from the heart of as a human being. Bezos ruined that whole thing, but nobody mocked him going up there because none of them thought it was a scientific adventure, that it was benefiting mankind. Nobody said they were astronauts. He went up there and he goes, this was an opportunity. He's like,
I'm not advancing science in any way.
This was was not, you could say it's a ride, but this was a voyage. It was a trip.
Sure.
He got to be a part of it. Nobody mocked that. In fact, the other Blue Origin stuff that they did, people weren't mocking that either. They were just saying, well, it's not like they're not close to what SpaceX is doing, but they're doing something. So another company doing something is always good for the advancement of an industry and science and humanity and what have you.
Right.
This time around, they turned it into a publicity event.
Oh, 100%.
That was just like you're promoting, like this could have been a Coachella thing. Mm-hmm. The way they were trotting these people out there and the way they were talking about all this stuff. And you're like, really? This doesn't mean as much as you think. It means a lot to you because you're a very small percentage of this species that gets the opportunity to do it. Everybody else on this planet is never going to have this opportunity, or at least as of now, we're never going to have that opportunity. You did. Take that as value. Talk about that, not about, you're going to hear in a clip later, they're saying we took the same route that Alan Shepard did.
Oh, and I have thoughts on that.
And I'm like, what? You think you're you dumb seas. So anyway, the capsule lands here in the desert.
That hit hard too.
Yeah, it did. Now I'm going to show you here. This footage was going around on the news, online. All the clips were showing Bezos opening the door, going in, welcoming them back. Mm-hmm. Shortly after those videos were put out, and the news was putting that out, somebody said, "Oh no. You got to see what happened before that," and that's what we have right here.
There was two live feeds. We had one live feed, and then when what you're about to show happened,
right?
They cut, and then they started the other live feed, which conveniently had no sound, and did all their little performative dance.
Right. So, all right. So this lands here. I'm going to just show on full screen without us for a moment here. Look at this. The door opens from the inside. They figured it out, and they're like, "Oh, let's open the door and get out." Whoever this handler is for Bezos or for Blue Origin runs over there.
Yep.
Like waving, no, and tells them to shut the door, and they resealed it there so that they could ceremoniously open up the door.
Here's the thing. Here's the problem with this already. Every other NASA-built capsule, spacecraft, anything has to be sealed from the outside to maintain pressurization.
Right.
There is no chance in hell that should have been able to be opened by whatever idiot opened the door from the inside.
Right. Yeah, you don't just spin the wheel like to an old safe,
it's or like a submarine.
Yeah, I was going to say the compartment doors in submarine vessels where you're spinning the wheel to lock it in to keep the water there. Yeah, they should not have been able to open this that easily.
No.
So that happened. So that was the footage that you didn't see that came out shortly after the official footage they were putting out for the news, that this came over here. So this started the ball rolling with conspiracy, because already people were mocking this and just aggravated and even hating the way Katy Perry was talking about this. They certainly do not like that Lauren Sanchez person. Gayle King was getting some criticism. The other three, I don't think, are really even brought up in the conversation.
No, one of them is like a documentary filmmaker and philanthropist, which it's fine, but she is quiet. And then the other two who are actually qualified to be doing any of this are going by the wayside. Like, they're not talking about them at all. And they're the more interesting of the group.
Right. But in the sake of this situation right now, it's best that those three are not talked about with this stuff
keep
here.
Away.
Right? So even keep away. People aren't going and seeking out them. They're just going after Lauren Sanchez, Gayle King, and Katy Perry for all of this stuff.
As right they should.
All right, so we keep going here. So now we just saw multiple times zoomed in. Now this is the ceremonial footage of him opening the door, which I don't even know how that's happening because as we saw from the previous footage, there's no handle or anything on the front to open it.
He's got a key. He has this like key or some kind of carbon rod or something. Like there's something that he has to insert in one of those holes. The inanimate carbon rod.
Everything is phallic going into holes.
Yep, exactly. Okay. So he's holding. You can see it in his hand. So he's put it in, and now he's twisting it open.
It's an IKEA Allen wrench, is what he's doing.
Yeah, it's the Allen wrench Carmen line. But look how easily the door opened too.
Yeah, it should have
There was no he should have had to like really force that open. And again, if they made this correctly, the door would have had to come off or open out.
Right. Another thing I want to point out with this is that a big reason why a lot of NASA and even SpaceX stuff lands in the ocean, one, obviously, there's vast amounts of ocean, so it's not going to hit anything, right? Two, it will soften and decrease the collision with the Earth dramatically. Three, it cools the fuselage down.
Yeah.
It just came as a fireball coming through the atmosphere. It lands in the ocean. They got to wait a little bit. That's why it's floating there. They get out to it and they don't go and open the thing right away. They got to take their time to bring it up there because it's cooling it down from the ocean. And even then, when they go to open those things, they're wearing like gloves and stuff. They're not just touching the fucking thing like he's opening a shed.
Right. Typically what happens is when an astronaut comes in and is in something maybe even remotely like this, they spend hours in there. They got to depressurize. They've got to go through protocol. There are doctors. There are ambulances. There are medical teams there examining them, making sure that they don't have any latent radiation issues. There are 1,000 different things going on before they're even let out of this capsule. And sometimes they spend hours in there after they've touched down on Earth. These people just walked out like nothing happened.
Well, there's so much that's wrong with all of this here. Big Red Tower saying Neil Armstrong spent 20 minutes trying to get the hatch open while on the moon. Buzz Armstrong. Why am I scared? It's not Lightyear. What the fuck was his name?
You just want to watch you like fucking
Aldrin.
Deal with this. There we go.
Buzz Aldrin
watch it.
Finally dangerously pried it open with a tool. Yeah.
Well, he hates the moon, so I get it.
Yeah, I spaced for a little bit. Pun. There we go. What did it say? Pablo C saying, I dislike how Bezos is dressed like he's going for a casual lunch in his jeans and a t-shirt. Like yeah. At least look ceremonial. Wear your outfit, an official outfit for Blue Origin while you're at it there.
Tux and tails.
Yeah. Okay, so this is his wife coming out here, right? This is Lauren Sanchez?
Fiance, I think. But yeah.
Fiance, okay. And then he's like, get out of here. And then we got to get the celebrities out. Like, she's first. He's like, I love you. Yeah, get over there. Let's do the celebrities because this is what is going to make our money.
Then this idiot.
So Katie,
right at the sun.
Now, I want to point something out here, too. So while he's finishing with Lauren Sanchez and then saying, beat it, get over there, get out of the line of the camera. Look, She's there talking to Katie's on the that little mini stair ramp that looks like it looks like the stairs to one of those
pictures with.
It looks like those stairs to like the Hobbit house or a tiny one of those tiny houses that they were building and trying to sell. She's talking to the Blue Origin representative. He's up in front here looking like Paul Schaefer, telling her to get out of the way of the camera. Katy Perry waits for her to walk away, then sees the cameras are clear and then performs.
Mm-hmm.
See, now she puts the daisy up in the air because that represents her daughter and hope for civilization and whatever other nonsense she's going to do. She kisses the daisy, gets off the ground. This aggravated the hell out of me, and it shouldn't have, but it did. She hops off the little step stool, jumps down to the ground, leans and kisses the earth. Like, thank God we made it back home. You know who didn't kiss the earth? The Apollo astronauts that got stranded and almost didn't make it home. The story being told is like once they were removed from the capsule and they were medically cleared, they went with other astronauts and technicians to the bar on base and had shots of a celebratory drink. Right? The two astronauts that were just up at the International Space Station, Sonny and whatever his name is, they were up there. They were up there 9 months longer than they were supposed to be.
Oh, did you see that poor woman? Like the way the being up there so long and the gravity and the difference elongated her chin and changed her physical, like just everything about her because of how long she was up there.
Right.
It was crazy.
It took them a while. They had to be carried out.
Yeah.
Of this SpaceX capsule because they just couldn't function with Earth's gravity and it was going to take a while, which is expected. They know that this was going to happen. Those two, if they would have said, put me down on the ground and they leaned over to kiss the ground, perfectly acceptable. In fact, it would have been applauded. Like, yes, absolutely. You know, you did suffer, even though they didn't fully suffer, but they overcame a really drastic hardship. They have the right to do that. This, you had a 10-minute tourist ride. You were essentially on the slingshot at the Jersey Shore. You went up there and then came right back down.
I was going to say, it's when you get off Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and you kiss the ground thinking, I made it. I got back.
Yes. I didn't puke on the teacups. That's what you're doing here.
Exactly.
So she leans down. She kisses the fucking sand.
She's such an idiot.
Now, this is Gayle King coming out. She does the same thing. She's old and decrepit. She's kneeling down. She's kissing the ground. Gayle probably didn't see that Katie did that. She's like, oh, I'm going to do that. That'll be my big news moment. It's like, no, Katie already did it. And you just look like a poser. And we're mocking her even more for it.
Earth looked it was so quiet. It was just quiet. And
all right, so this is the footage where...
Oh, God, these morons.
And this is what was fed to the news outlets. The news, it's not like CBS or NBC or CNN or any of them were out there to talk one-on-one with these people. Because when does that ever happen? When astronauts are brought out of the capsule? The news doesn't get to talk to them for a couple days. They got to resituate with the Earth's conditions. They got to see their family. They got to get medically cleared. They have to rest and get refluided and replenished with fluids and all of those things. And then, like a couple days later, then they're doing remotes, or they send a host down there to do a one-on-one for the Today Show or for CNN or something like that. You're not standing there in a field like you just got out of Burning Man. It's like, tell us about your experience. Well, the rain was really bad this season, and our RV was stuck.
Parking.
Yeah, my RV was stuck for 3 days. That's what they did. They got out of a stuck RV for 3 days, and she kissed the ground like, finally, we're free. But this, so this is the people at Blue Origin conducting these news interviews that they released to the outlets. So
very performative.
Yeah.
Is it what you expected? No. Better.
Oh my God.
And her face looked like that going before. So this wasn't a result of gravity.
She had cheekbones worked on. Her nose is horrible hatchet job, and she's got injections in her lips. She looks. Oh my God! Look at that. You could see the Botox scars right under her fake, probably tattooed on eyebrows.
Saying it was like
she's got fake eyelashes on too.
Quiet, but then also
she
really
looks
alive.
distorted. She looks like when you don't know how to mold clay properly.
And you look at it, and you're like, we're all in this together. Like, that's all I could think about is like, we're so connected, more connected than you realize, because you just see right here, you see like, states and all these things that like divide us, but we're not. All the love that was in that capsule and all the heart and the feelings and all the things. It was a feeling.
She almost looks like, that meme for the trolling where it's that face and the jaw goes off to the side. Yeah, that's what she looks like.
And like, and come on.
Maybe that's her skull when she's done. They say it's like, oh my God, her face was the inspiration for that meme.
Camaraderie. It was a feeling of gratefulness. It was
camaraderie.
Old Restless is wondering if Mickey Rourke and Lauren Sanchez are the same person.
The same exact flight. And he became the first American in space. And 6 women just did the same flight.
Okay, this is getting to the territory that I know you're going to get pissed at, and me and a lot of other people as well that love the space program, that love history, that love this country. And you're comparing yourselves to even the missions where you didn't know the astronauts' names, where they weren't as famous. You still respect them 1,000% more than this 10-minute joyride that billionaires.
This fucking tourist.
Yeah.
Capsule and all the heart and the feelings and all the things. It was a feeling of joy and like and camaraderie. It was a
camaraderie.
Didn't
she lose to Trump in the last election?
She probably did.
Feeling of gratefulness. It was a feeling that we're doing this, and Alan Shepard, I told you about this, did this same exact flight.
Who told them this?
No, he didn't.
Who gave them this press briefing?
This seems to be the fucking talking point they want to keep saying.
Yeah, we're the same as Alan Shepard. No, you're not. You're not even the same as Chuck Yeager if you flew on the fucking what was the name of that flight that had the sonic boom from New York to England?
Oh, the Concorde?
The Concorde. You flew on the Concorde. It's like, we had a sonic boom. I'm just like Chuck Yeager. No, you're not. You're not the first person to do this.
Because here's the problem. They went 62 miles up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the thing. They barely hit the Kármán line, which is what separates space and Earth.
Yeah.
That's the
lower orbit, inner space, outer space.
Suborbit.
Yeah, all of that.
Alan Shepard didn't do that. He went almost twice as far, 116 miles up in the air, at a time where we didn't know if that was even possible. He was a human guinea pig. He did this. You did not do the same thing as Alan Shepard. You did not even come close to what Alan Shepard did.
We took the same route.
Years.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Magellan. You know who took the same route as Magellan? Cruise ships. Are you a fucking international explorer?
Like Magellan.
I took the same route as Columbus. Yeah, we all did. I left out of Fort Lauderdale. No, I left out of Spain, came down to the Bahamas, went to Jamaica and Aruba. I'm just like Christopher Columbus.
She says, "Oh God,
and he became the first American in space." And
hold on a second, we're staying corrected. Frankie Bronson. Yeah, but she's hot, Jordan. No, she's not. She's not.
No, she's not.
She's Clayface. She's exactly what Jordan said.
Just did the same.
She's part of Batman's rogue gallery.
Yeah, he did it.
All right, I want to go back because I want to get disgusted.
Gratefulness.
And that's why you don't let women in space.
We're doing this, and
I'm all for it, standing out there at signs saying no more women in space.
All they do is cry when they come back.
If you want to cry about taking rights away, guess what? I'm all for taking away women's rights in space because of what even the female astronauts that are up there that are brilliant doctors and scientists and physicists, and they're saying, yeah, maybe we need to dial this down a little bit there. You're setting us back quite a ways.
Told you about this. Did this same exact flight.
Nope.
And he became the first American in space. And 6 women just did the same flight that...
No, you didn't.
You didn't, though. You did half of it.
And she's all crying. Like,
just like your pay, you did half of what Alan Shepard did.
No, you know what you did the same as Alan Shepard did and everybody else since Alan Shepard? You got into the border area of space. You did more than most of human civilization. I'll give you that. But it's not by your own doing. It's because you spent the money to go. And in Gail's case, Oprah, that was like her birthday present. I spent the $25 million to send Gail to space. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You're never going to top. You know how Rob
was handing it out like, you get a space flight. You get a space flight. Everyone gets one.
You know how like Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds are always vying to outdo each other for their birthdays? And
right.
Yeah. Oprah just trumped everybody. I sent Gail to space. I was tired of dealing with her, so I sent her to space for a little while.
It's Katy Perry's problem for another.
Top that. All right, now we're talking to Gail King.
Officially an astronaut. How do you
No,
feel?
you're not.
No, you're not.
Alan Shepard is an astronaut. That man trained for 2 years.
Right.
And put his body through hell while he was sick, had a disease, got cured, and then did Apollo, one of the Apollo missions, and walked on the fucking moon. You went on a ride, Gail.
Yeah. Jim Lovell is an astronaut. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. Those are all real astronauts. Hell, at this point, Tom Hanks and Gary Sinise are more astronauts.
Especially Gary Sinise.
Yeah, he went in that simulation trying to figure out how to get everything down to the power level just so that it could. Yeah, I know. Fucking. I want to go back and watch Apollo 13. It was a great
I'm gonna
movie.
go watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Accept that word, but I will say.
Okay, what did she say here?
He did it.
Gail King, you are officially an astronaut. How do you feel?
I still can't accept that word, but I will say.
You can't. And you shouldn't. That, if you want to talk about appropriation, that is appropriation. You are not an astronaut. That is almost stolen valor at this point. You're not a doctor. You're not anyone of military rank or note. You're nothing. You're a talk show host and, well, no, sorry, you're not even a talk show host. You're a news anchor and best friend to the world's most famous talk show host.
Right.
That's it. You're not an astronaut.
I can't even believe what I saw. When somebody calls this a ride, this was not a ride.
It was a ride.
It was a ride.
A venture, even. I'll take a step.
Did you push any buttons? Did you control this capsule? You did nothing.
It was a journey. All you dingbats want to talk about your journeys on social media. This was a journey. I'll give you that.
Her at least that.
It's like, follow me on my journey. Yes, this I agree with. This is your journey. It's not an astronaut. This was not a flight. This was not a medical or science expedition. This was a glorified ride.
And you went on a ride.
Yeah, Frankie's asking, why does she have red hair? I don't know. Did her hair oxidize in the desert from coming back? Is she contaminated? Did she bring space viruses with her?
Can she flame on?
Oh my God. No. If they did come back and they had look, I'll say they're astronauts. If they came back and had a Fantastic Four origin story and they all had weird, trippy powers, then okay, you know what? You're astronauts. I'll give that to you. You know, they're out there, they get hit by an asteroid storm or a comet.
Well, what happened to us was not a ride. This was a bona fide friggin' flight. And our instructor.
Casey I saw that. She'd be as useful as a bunch of billionaires on a submarine if something went wrong. Well, we had the submarine happen. Unfortunately, we have
really
not.
Hoping this was another submarine issue.
We did not have the the space capsule.
We were so
yet.
well prepared. So every noise.
Oh my God, well prepared.
This was a bona fide friggin' flight. And our instructor, we were so well prepared. So every noise we heard, we knew. But the flight instructor said.
What is that supposed to mean? Every noise we heard, we knew.
If you hear this creak, if you hear this if you hear the metal sound like it's bending,
about to crush in on
from
you
the pressures of the atmosphere.
There's a reason why most of the capsules don't have as many windows as you have on there.
I knew to hit the yellow button. If I heard creaking, I would just repeatedly hit the yellow button until that creaking went away. We were very well prepared. We were trained.
I am her best success story. Why? Because she's never had somebody go through the course who's terrified of flying. Everybody who's...
I think no matter how well you're trained, you always have that in you as human instincts that you're terrified of flying.
I can't even get on a step ladder without feeling like I'm going to fall. That would freak me out.
Air Force pilots, Navy pilots that have trained their entire lives just hopefully getting into the space program. As much as they love flying, they're wanting to be astronauts because they love flying. They are also terrified when they go up there, and they're the most trained people in the world for these kind of missions, and they're still terrified. They'll all tell you that they were terrified. Nobody goes, I'm just going to have a jaunt up in space. I'll be back in a little bit. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Gone through the course as somebody that it's been a lifelong dream. They wanted to do it. So she said, I'm her best success story. I'm so proud of me right now. I can't believe it. When we were up there, after zero G is very difficult. You know, all the training about this is how you get in the chair and this. I look like a friggin' moose getting in the chair. It was like, just let me get in the chair. Let me get the seatbelt on. But, you know, we had a very do this.
How would you describe it?
It's very difficult because you're floating. But the best part was when we got back in our seats after 0 G's, Katie sang "What a Wonderful World."
She did?
Isn't that nice?
Oh, come on.
She sang "What a Wonderful World." I see dreams. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Because we.
Let me ask you something. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't the Apollo 13 mission, but there was some mission where they were re-entering Earth's atmosphere. And they were one of the most terrifying experiences you can have as a human being. One of those missions, weren't they singing a song coming back or weren't they singing the national anthem or something like that? I thought I remember one of those things where they were singing something patriotic or spiritual or whatever, coming through the atmosphere, hoping they made it home. That's out of fear. That's not out of joy. That's out of fear that you do that. And they're sitting there. I was up there, hand clapping and knee slapping the rubber band man. It's like, what? What? Why would... Oh, fuck all of this. All of this.
Katie started rapping an Eminem song. It felt very appropriate.
Right.
I've been asking her to sing all the time, and she wouldn't. And then, because everybody said, sing roar, sing fireworks. And she said, it's not about me.
Sing roar, sing fireworks. Can you sing the popsicle line from California Girls? Know what? Gail knows the Snoop Dogg rap part. You sing that, and she'll join in as Snoop Dogg. Can we do that? Can we have
We were up
Can we have a powwow?
Looking out the window, and Jordan just kept reciting the book "Goodnight Moon."
Yeah.
It's not about me, Eric.
It's all about go to fuck to sleep.
I wanted to talk about the world. Wow. I would say that we are forever bounded because you can't go through what we went through to look out for each other, to help each other, and not be changed by that.
What were you doing to look out for each other, other than float past Lauren Sanchez?
Oh, I pulled her hair back so she could see out the window. I pulled her arm down so she could tighten her seatbelt.
It really is a true. People throw the word around, but it really is a true sisterhood. Mm-hmm. But it speaks to
sisterhood, unity, bonding.
Katy Perry with her Daisy is the sisterhood of traveling plants.
How we were set up for success.
I don't think I didn't hear that.
The training
I heard that.
was so I can't stress this enough. The training was so friggin' good. We were set up for success.
They did an online course.
Their training. Are they sitting in those chairs that are spinning you around to get maximum G's? Are they putting you in the suits where they submerge you in Olympic-sized pools to see how you...
Katy Perry so fast she looked like Popeye?
Yeah, you have to spend hours at the bottom of a pool trying to function like you're in space and hope that your suit doesn't malfunction. Did you go through any of that stuff?
No, she took an online course and then got her high school degree.
Yeah, I passed the written part.
She did air conditioner repair.
I got to keep the tools at the end. I passed the written exam and then I had to do like a double dare obstacle course. And then when I got the last orange flag, they were like, we were all cleared. We could go.
Not one of these women are drinking
and it went
Tang.
exactly as they told us it was.
A different kind
was going to. Every boom that you heard, the drones, the drogues coming out, the parachutes.
Drones.
Ooh, there's drones.
Okay.
Parachutes coming out. It went exactly as they said.
Are you glad you did it?
Hi, I wanted to talk of two things. I want to talk. It's my turn to talk.
Well, I was trying to cut it. That was a sloppy cut on my end there. But listen to what Katie's saying. I'm going to raise the volume up. Listen to what she says.
The drogues coming out, the parachutes coming out. It went exactly as they said.
Are you glad you did it?
I'm the crier of the group.
I guess.
Hi guys, we all have personalities. She's the fun one. I'm the pretty one. I'm the crier. The ugly one. This is Teen Girl Squad, is what it is.
Teen Girl Squad.
Arrowed.
Capsule
crash.
The ugly one.
Seal leak. Well, I'm trying to think.
So good.
So good. I can't believe. Yeah.
How was your flight? It was so good.
Crack, crack. What's that noise? VoIP suffocation.
What's her face?
No, you're not the crier of the group.
Healer of the group.
No, you are not.
I'm crier.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
So she had to come up with two different names, and that reporter's like, no, you're not. You're not even that one. Stop trying to give yourself an identity with this group here.
It's coming out.
All right, here it comes.
The drogues coming out, the parachutes coming out. It went exactly as they said.
Are you glad you did it?
Here.
No, you're not the crier of the group.
Healer of the group.
I'm the at first I thought she said the healer, but I'm the feeler of the group. No, everyone fucking felt something. I hate that. Like, you don't know how personally I felt this experience compared to everybody else. I don't care.
No, you are not.
I'm crying.
I'm going to tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
No, you're not.
Stop telling people this. You're not.
Not everyone gets a trophy in this activity.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
This is like when your kid is like you're in a resort in the Caribbean and they pass the 2-hour snorkeling thing and you're officially a scuba diver now. Not really. You're not. At this resort, yeah, you in title only. You might get the T-shirt and the badge. The thing that you sew on your fucking backpack or your sweatshirt or something. You're not going out to see, Spanish shipwrecks. You're not going out there to see coral reefs
because he took a 2-hour course at the Bahamas thing.
Yeah,
you are
officially sandals.
Yeah,
an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've truly reached enlightenment. You are now above everybody. You can
so
ascend into the heavens. Thank you. I know. No.
Thank you.
Oh, you want to headbutt her so much. As pretty as she is,
the air,
the personality kills all of it.
I feel super connected to love.
To love?
What does that mean?
Super connected to love? You go up there and I go, dude, I have a whole new appreciation for this planet, for the universe, for everything. That's what you get the appreciation for. It's not like I came back with such love and kindness in my heart.
Can you imagine? They interview you, you'll be like, so what did you feel? It's like, man, that was fucking scary as shit. I think I shit myself. I'm so tired. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm not an astronaut. I sat there.
Yeah.
I didn't even get out of my chair. I didn't want to look out the window. I don't even it's like, I couldn't even be on the 50th floor of a New York high rise right now. And they're like, I'm super connected to love.
No, that's not how this works. It's not at all. It's like, they're talking about this. I feel connected to love. I know how to solve the world's problems. I think I saw aliens.
We're forever
the government sees these video clips going out there and go, all right, let's investigate Blue Origin here. See, it's like, they're all suffering from like hypoxia or something, right? There's not enough oxygen in their heads. They're all hallucinating. They can't be normal people going up there and doing this.
I may want to sue another person because I couldn't buy their mansion.
I want to work with another producer accused of sexual assault for other various pop artists. I want to work with the guy that created NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and then molested all those other nonsense groups. That's who I'm going to work on my next album with. I think his name was Max or something.
So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you. Like,
what does this mean? Why? How are you?
It's word vomit.
Like how much love you have to give.
She has no idea how to express anything. So
she
this
doesn't
is
know where to go.
She's like, I don't know how to describe. You know what's a fair description? You go, if you sit there and go, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I have to think about it for a bit. I don't know how to describe
how to talk about it.
What I saw, how I felt about that. This is something I need to sit on for a little bit. That makes all the sense in the world. Like I would get that. You went into outer space or space. You know, that's more than I ever did or anybody else in this planet did. I would get that. When you start sitting there, I'm feeling compassion and understanding, like my soul has been recharged with my crystals that I brought up there with me. Wait, what? What did you say about crystals? And I have this brand new idea.
Spencer Pratt shows up.
I know how to solve the world's recycling issues. What? What happened? What is she talking about?
Right.
Her last album barely had any kind of sales. Now this next thing that she's going to put out there, when she was holding up the butterfly with the track listing for her new album.
It's her set list for the concert that she's starting.
Whatever. Nobody could read it.
Right. She brings us love.
And how loved you are until the day you launch.
The song that you sang when you got up there. What a wonderful world. Why was that important to sing that particular song?
I've covered that song in the past, and obviously, like, my higher self is always steering the ship, because I had no clue that one day I would decide to sing.
She was from a Christian household. She did Christian music before her name was Katie Hudson. She was a Christian singer before she switched over to being Katy Perry and doing pop music and all this ultra vapid sexual stuff that she does with her performances and her music and what have you. But now she's doing this like hippie, it's not even Buddhism stuff. It's that
it's just love and butterflies,
astrology, third eye kind of nonsense.
Mantra.
Yeah.
A little bit of that in space.
I'm on a higher plane of existence now.
It's not about me. It's not about singing my songs. It's about a collective energy in there. It's about us. It's about making space for future women and taking
space for what? You're not making space. You didn't pave the way for future girls that are in school or going to college that can make way for scientists and doctors and what else to get more women involved in the space program. You spent $25 million to get a ticket on a ride.
Well,
so if you want to make space for other things, pay for other people to go. Go ahead.
And they're making a big deal about this all women flight. But it's just a PR stunt. It's performative feminism. The same thing happened, I think, in 63 when...
That's a good show title. Go ahead.
Performative feminism. Mm-hmm. So they're talking, and they'll reference it, and they always talk about the flight in 1963 with Valentina Tereshkova. She was that Russian astronaut that went up. So in the 60s, Jerry Cobb was making a huge ordeal in Washington. She was trying to get more women into the Mercury program, and Russia said, well, let's do it first. So they got female parachute jumpers. They got a bunch of them. They trained them. They got them to choose the prettiest one, put her in front of cameras, sent her up by herself, and said, we did it first.
Mm-hmm.
A PR stunt, as it was then, as it is now. They're not breaking any barriers. She was,
But you could say at least
it's a stunt. But at least then it was a thing.
For when the Russians were doing it, there was a Cold War, there's a space race, there's all that. It was a publicity stunt, yes, but the intention was to boost the science program and they just wanted to be first to do it.
They do it all the time. They did it when Sally Ride was going to launch.
Right,
and
first teacher in
the
space.
Soviets were like, no, and then they were like, you know what? Let's send Lana Sataskava. And they were like, let's make her walk out in space. Now she's not only the first woman to do this, she's the first woman to do a spacewalk. So go ahead, send Sally Ride up, and that's great for us as as Americans. But the Russians did it first again. Katy Perry and her little group of people aren't breaking barriers. They're not paving the way for young girls to look up to them. In fact, I think they're setting women back. Like
a lot of women online were saying that. It's like this isn't the victory you think that this is. This isn't the bragging points. This comes off as, again, celebrities being tone deaf and unaware of what real people think and how real people live and experience these things. Look, am I jealous of them that they went up there? Absolutely. Would I love to go do that? Yes, I would.
In a heartbeat. Correct.
But I know what it is. I wouldn't come back down and think I'm an astronaut. It's like going to Kennedy Center and going to space camp for 2 weeks because I won the prize on goes back to Double Dare. But when you're going to space camp was like the biggest prize that they had, which was fantastic.
Watch Space Camp tonight.
You're doing all of this stuff there. I know I'm not an astronaut. I got a chance to do this. I got a chance to go to space. I loved it.
I had enough money to do this.
Yeah, I know that I was extremely fortunate, lucky, privileged, whatever, and now can be part of the advancement of humankind, being able to go and at least witness something like that.
Right.
Well, that's it. I didn't push science further. I didn't further an agenda for funding, for medical research, for any of that stuff. It's just I got a chance to go to see somewhat of an orbit, and I took it.
And from the outside looking in, it's easy to say that we're just two idiots sitting here ragging on women. But look, Casey in the chat says, as a woman with a master's degree in science, sending 3 unqualified women shits on all of us who had to fight our way through our industries.
I 100% agree.
100%. Because it just makes your accomplishments null and void in the eyes of the group, because you're right. There were 6 women. 2 of them were really qualified to actually do this, and no one wants to talk about them.
No.
Not one person. They're focusing on Katy Perry's dumb face and Gayle King and her stupidity.
Because I bet you the news is like, it's either this or we got to focus on Trump again. It's those two. So let's focus on that.
We have to have something.
Yeah. Lilith in the chat. Hi, everyone. Hello, Lilith. Welcome. Let's continue on.
taking up space and belonging. And it's about this wonderful world that we see right out there and appreciating it.
That's valid. I would say that. That's the first valid thing she said.
All for the benefit of Earth.
It didn't benefit Earth.
Well, and then she ruined it by saying that.
Yeah.
Like within seconds.
It's like, oh, this beautiful planet and having an appreciation for it. Valid. Sure. Completely valid. In fact, if you didn't have that, we'd be like, what the hell is wrong with you? But then he's like, for the benefit, it didn't benefit anybody.
Yeah, what did you do?
Nothing.
What data did you collect?
You know what all this does?
Experiment did
this
you
is
run?
just she's just going to be shown. This is pre-concert clips before she comes out on stage for her tours
100%.
going forward. It's always going to be she went to space.
For us, because you're so brilliant at putting words together and describing moments that we can all appreciate later.
No, she's not. This reporter's dumb too.
How would you describe the moment when you took off and then the moment you landed?
The moment, I mean, it
Bumpy.
is the highest high. And it is surrender to the unknown, trust.
Did she go to an AA meeting? I gave myself to a higher power. I stopped smoking cigarettes. I gave up drinking. I don't have a porn addiction.
And this whole journey is not just about going to space.
Yes, it is.
It was
That's
literally that.
all it is about, is that you got to go to space. That's all it is.
It's the training. It's the team. It's the whole thing. I couldn't recommend this experience more. This is like up there with all the...
Hey, gals, go be an astronaut.
Tools that I've learned in my life from meditation.
Save up your money, and then you too can get you can get the ticket on this ride here and play astronaut.
To the Hoffman process, this is up there because what you're doing is you're like really finding the love for yourself, because you got to trust in yourself on this journey, and then you're feeling the love when you come down.
It has nothing to do with love. Where is she pulling? She has no other words or thoughts in her head that she keeps focusing on love.
She brings us love. Get her.
This trip up into lower orbit saved my marriage. Really? How? It's just, I came back so full of love. You're an idiot, Katie. Back to you, Bob.
Sure. And you're feeling that strength. So I feel really connected to that strong, divine feminine right now.
By the way, you're such a badass. I love that the month of April, you're like, I'm going to space and I'm launching my tour. I mean, it's really incredible.
Yeah, that's such a badass. That doesn't just explain plainly this was a publicity stunt.
It's PR for rich people.
So dumb. I have two more clips to show you. I think we'll skip segment 2 for this week.
Sure. I'm fine with that.
I want to go to this next because... All right, let's do Gayle King's response, and then I'm going to show you something that happened the week before that I only was made aware of today, and I think is, I don't throw this term around loosely, brilliant. This is Gayle King, like a couple days after... where everyone's just saying is shitting on this whole thing, and they're like, "Oh, you're just attacking them because they're women, and everybody's prejudiced, and this is trying to pave the way for womankind and for their future." It's like none of this did any of that. If, like we've said before, if anything, it set back the perception with the public that this is just something that millionaires and billionaires get to do. The general public of the planet will never get a chance to do this.
Some people were comparing it to the let them eat cake, Marie Antoinette type stuff. It's like you're so disconnected from what the people are dealing with that you're just like, everyone should be able to do this. This is such an amazing experience. No one's going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
No one has the money, the resources to ever make this happen in their lifetime.
Preston in the chat saying Katie's video, it's like, I'm so proud of myself. It's
I did so much work.
Pat yourself on the back and then fucking, stroke yourself off at night to say how, fantastic you were with the love that you have for yourself being a pirate or a astronaut or whatever you're claiming to be after this.
Pirate.
I'm a space pirate. I went up there and I saw the robots from Mystery Science Theater, and I was on the satellite of love, and I really felt the love there. And then we made fun of the Taylor Swift tour movie, and then we came back home, and I really just felt a deep appreciation for myself and love and the planet and love and also love. Miss Bill in the chat, Miss Bi in the chat, sorry. Miss B in the chat, third time's a charm. I apologize. for me, my biggest complaint is that it looks so fake. None of it looked real at all. And the fact that she turned this whole into a publicity thing, I don't know. There's a clip somewhere that I saw the other day I tried to save that shows a big blue screen behind them.
Trust me, the internet is rife with conspiracy theory right now.
I saw a clip.
Partly, I'm into it.
I saw a clip of, when you're talking about there's no good conspiracy theories out there, I'll buy into this one. Whatever's going out there, I'll go with it.
I want the pyramids to be stargates.
Yeah, to have those pillars below it.
Be stupid. Yes,
I'm with you on both. And I will definitely look to fund your research for this. There's footage out there. I should have pulled this one too, but they were showing like the back part of the capsule, and they zoom in, and it's a mannequin. Like you see a mannequin hen in the spacesuit in one of the seats. I don't know from what time period it was, but they were saying it was from the same. It was recorded. Somebody walked around the perimeter, and they found in one of the windows. You can look it up, see if you can find it while I play the next thing there. Yeah, they found a mannequin in one of the chairs there. Ridiculous. All right, so this is Gayle King defending what they went through and said you wouldn't have attacked men if they were doing this.
Use space technology all the time, whether it's your GPS, whether it's your satellite. That doesn't just happen. Every time a flight goes up, they get some type of information. 2 of the astronauts, I still have a hard time calling myself an astronaut, but 2 of
because you're not an astronaut.
That's why it's hard to call it, because it's not.
Because you know it's a lie.
Astronauts on board. One is a rocket scientist. One is an astrophysicist activist. We're actually doing experiments. But every time
there was no experiment. You had 10 minutes. You were not doing experiments.
I don't know what experiments you're doing in an 11-minute weightless suborbital rocket.
Yeah,
it ain't science.
No experiments.
One of those goes up. You get some information that can be used for something else. So.
Yeah, that's what SpaceX is. That's what NASA has always been about. You went up there and you had advancements for humankind. Like the microwave came from the space program. Radars, satellites, all of these things. Tang, of course, was the big thing that was pushed out there because that's what the astronauts drank.
A lot of Tang on that ship.
Space ice cream. The
freeze-dried ice cream?
Yeah. It looks
That's why
ridiculous.
We got Dippin' Dots.
It looks ridiculous, but it's fantastic. If you're at a museum and oh my God, there's the NASA ice cream. It's like, yeah, you go and you spend the $6 for the thing, and you're eating. Essentially, it's like wafer cookies, but it's still delicious. It's melting in your mouth. It feels weird. It's like, yeah, I feel like I'm part of the future. Velcro, you're right. Velcro came out of the space program. Thank you, Old Restless. Thank you, Frankie Bronson, for bringing all that stuff up. Anyway.
I wish people would do more due diligence. And then my question is, have y'all been to space? Have you been to space?
No, because we don't have $25 million to spend to go to space. Don't ever sit there and have you been to space? That's like when Grimy and Homer were hanging, Grimy's all pissed at them. And it's like, you've been to space? And Homer goes, you've never been?
You've never been?
He wasn't doing it to be malicious. He was just talking about oh, you haven't been to space? I've been to space.
I can't even take 2 kids to Disneyland for an affordable price. I'm not going to space, Gayle.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
You've never been to space?
You've never been?
It's I think you just gave everyone permission to use a word, not the N word, but the C word, to your face for saying that without repercussions.
Celebrity.
Yes. You dumb celebrity.
Have y'all been to space? Have you been to space?
Shut up, you dumb celebrity.
Or go to Blue Origin and see what they do and how they do, and then come back and say, this is a terrible thing.
Yeah. Blue Origin has other flights that don't get publicized because I think it was just a cost-effective way to send other scientists and stuff up there to do certain things. And she's right in that aspect. They have that branch or that division of the company that goes and does this. What you did was not that.
No.
You had 2 scientists up there.
A guest.
You weren't conducting experiments. You weren't bringing up biological life forms to see how they reacted in space. You weren't bringing up vaccines and viruses and blood work.
You were trying to see if ants consort tiny screws.
Yeah.
Is it expensive? Yes. But one of the things they're trying to do, if you get enough people who are interested, it doesn't have to be that expensive.
Yeah, it could go from 25 million to 18 million. If enough millionaires out there would just start a GoFundMe, We could start getting more millionaires up in space.
Number one. Number two, I don't like that people are calling it a ride. A ride, you never see a male astronaut who's going up in space and they said, oh, he took a ride.
Because the majority of them were astronauts that did it. And I'll go back.
Test pilots.
Right.
Or anything else other than the 10-hour online course you probably took on how to buckle your seatbelt at the end of your ride.
We'll even go back. I'll backtrack to when we were talking about William Shatner. In no way did he assume that this was a scientific expedition. Was he an astronaut? No. He went through whatever safety courses that they have to legally required for him to go to do this. It was a ceremonial gesture for him to go up there. And he appreciated it for what it was. A ride, a journey, a venture. This was not anything scientific or military based or any kind of advancement. So everybody is completely right to say, stop calling yourselves astronauts. You're not an astronaut. This was not a scientific mission. This was a ride.
We actually duplicated the route that Alan Shepard did. That's why it's called.
We went into the upper atmosphere and then past the upper atmosphere into low orbit, just like Alan Shepard.
This particular capsule is called
60 miles off.
The New Shepard. We duplicated that route.
For as long as he did?
Nope.
No, you didn't. You were not up there anywhere near the time that he was up there.
No one said he took that ride. Yeah. It's all
because it wasn't a ride.
Because here's the thing. Technically, we can say Alan Shepard's was a ride. It was the same type of situation where he had no control about what he was doing. He wasn't piloting anything. The problem is he is an astronaut. He was experimenting. We still, again, didn't know if anybody could make that happen. That was a risk. That I will not call it a ride because he risked his life to advance the space program to where it is today.
Yeah.
They paid money to go on a ride.
He had military training. He had survival training. He had scientists. He had science education and mathematics and all of that stuff that require you for proper advancement of the program, of the human race, of the planet, any of that stuff. None of these people did it. You know what, Gail? You get this.
You're a cunt. As a flight or a journey. So I feel that that's a little disrespectful to what the mission was. And
it wasn't a mission!
What the work that Blue Origin does. Number three, I've had so many girls and women and some guys who are saying, whoa, I saw what you did. I'm thinking, maybe I should reconsider. Maybe I could do
You know what? I was going to buy a house this year, but I figured, you know what? I'll spend all that money as a down payment to go on this ride, and I still won't be able to do it because no one can do this, Gail. Like, it's so fucking tone deaf to say stuff like, have you been, or maybe I can reconsider that, maybe I can do it. No one can do it. That is the point of this, is that the only people that have been able to be a space tourist, which you are, and go on that ride, which you did, is because you know somebody or you paid a very large amount of money to do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous how much money it costs to do this. And you're talking like, well, someone said, hey, Gail can do it. I can do it. No, you fucking can't. Gail can do it because Oprah gives her money. It's just ridiculous.
Miss B in the chats there saying also, how did their shuttle land so gently in the desert, but usually the pods land in the ocean?
Right.
Also, where are the scorch marks from re-entering the atmosphere? Those things are usually charred, blackened at the bottom from the base of it is the one that's cutting through the atmosphere. Not a mark on there. You could see the painted on American flag perfectly. You could read the name on it perfectly. Doesn't work like that.
Now, here's the thing. Gray's saying they weren't high up enough for atmospheric friction. Now, I can give you that because we did see that guy from Red Bull go up pretty high, almost pretty close to that spot, and then he jumped out without any issue. Sure, I'll give him that. However, they still hit the ground going 25, 30 miles an hour. That would hurt. You can't go 10 miles an hour in a car and hit another car without any kind of repercussion. Now go 30 miles an hour and hit a wall. you're gonna be in pain. And these women came walking out like nothing was a problem.
Is this true? You could see the jets fired during the landing. I saw it for the
I saw a lot of
for the actual rocket. I didn't see it for that.
I saw a lot of that dirt pop up, so that could have been a thing. But come on.
Maybe I could do this too. The young girls in particular. But it's not just the young girls. We're also encouraging, I mean, the boys look at it and see what women and young girls can do.
No, like Jordan said, no, they didn't.
No, they don't.
They didn't reach it. So this was from either Wednesday or Thursday morning. So you're 3 days removed at most from this thing here. When did you have a chance to go and talk to school children? When? Were you doing speaking engagements? Because you went right back on the air for CBS This Morning. As soon as they cleared you, you went right back on the air. Where did this happen? Twitter? Instagram? TikTok? Were you getting TikToks telling you because of Gayle King, I think I want to go to space too?
Yeah. God forbid you go over the 60 plus years of space travel and science and people to look up to and tragedies and successes. I think because Gayle King can do it, I can do it too. She is a pioneer in her field. All
right, let's give Gayle the benefit of the doubt of this. She goes, I've heard from a lot of people, a lot of young people, boys and girls saying, because I've said, I think I could do this too. I think I want to go to space. Okay, so if you did encourage them to think about that as a career path, as a life path, you encourage them
no way to get that
to go. No, you encourage them to go through the proper route of school, of science, of I guess essentially military training to be an astronaut, going through all of that stuff to be proper astronauts to go into space. What you did as space tourism, I like that term,
coined it,
did not influence people to go the hard route, the realistic route to progress science, to progress space exploration. You took a journey. A jaunt. You took a glorified vacation to do all this.
Call it a ride.
We inspired people to go on a cruise. Yeah, sure did.
So I know there are cranky Yankees. I know there's some haters, but I'm not going.
Yankee crankies.
Cranky Yankees, huh?
I should go re-edit that footage, put it back up there. I know there's some Yankee crankies. It's like, wait, what? She's going to jerk-off shops? What is she doing?
Yankees, I know there's some haters, but I'm not going to let people steal my joy and steal the joy of what we did or what we accomplished that day. I'm just not going to let it in.
You didn't accomplish anything.
You didn't accomplish
You accomplished nothing.
I'm not.
Okay. You can say, well, you're not going to take away the vivid memories that I had from my vacation. Okay. I'm with you there. They can't stop you from that because you did it. But you didn't accomplish anything. Now, we're going to finish all this up. About a week before, do you know the fourth hour of the Today Show? It's hosted by Jenna Bush.
I think I've seen like random clips here and
there. Daughter of former President George Bush.
Right, yeah.
She used to do the show
blonde one
with Hoda. Hoda Coffee for Coffee Catby, I think, from the Today Show. Before that, it was Hoda and Kathy Lee Gifford were hosting that fourth hour. But Hoda just left, and now it's called Jenna and Friends, and she has rotating guest hosts for the day, for the week, whatever is going on there. So the week before this, she had Olivia Munn, actress and cosplay gamer. Geek, Olivia Munn. She used to pretend that she was all nerdy on G4.
I remember, yeah.
Right. So, because of that, she wasn't very well liked or respected in the nerd community, right? But enough time has passed. People still won't like her or what have you. I will say I found a newfound respect for her. One, not just because she, I guess, had an affair with John Mulvaney.
Mm-hmm.
And Mulaney and had a kid and broke up his other marriage and helped, he went into an alcoholic spiral and now he's recovering. He has a fantastic live show on Netflix. I can't recommend that enough.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But she was on there as a guest host. And they just revealed on Jenna and Friends that these 6 space tourists were on the cover of Elle magazine because this was a big feature. And apparently Olivia Munn is not having any of this.
What are they doing? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying this. Okay, I know this is probably not the cool thing to say, but like there are so many other things that are so important in the world right now. Like, it's not. They aren't asked. I mean, there's one astronaut.
One astronaut.
But like, what are you guys going to do up in space? What are you doing up there? I mean, by the way,
they're going for 11 minutes. They're going for 11 minutes.
So,
they're going up. I think they're going to float around a little and then come back.
Like Magic Mountain.
You literally described the entire thing.
Yeah. So hold on here.
Like you're just going up
Space Mountain. More appropriately, Space Mountain.
Space Mountain. Well, yeah, I don't.
And
I have a little bit of a
issue. Isn't the right word? You're just perplexed.
I just was like, what do you guys need to?
I will point out, Jenna is really trying to curb.
She really is
the outrage because there's parts I had to cut out of here
bit.
because they started talking about eyelashes and other nonsense. Jenna's really trying to steer her away from shitting on these women and the whole purpose of this here. And Olivia's not, and she'll go and look at the camera and then brings it right back. And Jenna keeps trying to pull her back. That was like one of the first attempts that you're seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you want to go to space, why do you need to tell us about it?
Yeah.
And it's like, just go up there, have a good time, come on down. Also, I just think about, I know this is probably obnoxious, but like it's so much money to go to space.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a lot of people who can't even afford eggs.
That's true.
Oh my God, if they bring eggs into space.
The one thing that is universal is they are all going in glam.
What?
Yeah.
That's what's annoying.
Yeah.
They are getting their hair done, their makeup done, even eyelash extensions.
And Jenna's talking about like, isn't that awesome?
And she's like, isn't that nice? Like they're gonna be really pretty. And Olivia's getting like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, this is what these shows that do this kind of, and I usually don't. I've seen Jenna's stuff once in a while. She's usually okay. But when they start going the whole thing about celebrity glam and all this stuff, like it's supposed to be cool and you're awe-inspiring, like you're awestruck by all this stuff, she's like, yeah, they're all going in glam. Olivia Munn is saying to a nicer degree, because she's on network television, what everybody else is thinking about all of this.
Yeah.
Like they said this out loud?
I believe so. In fact, Katie said she was going to put the ass in astronaut. Which is,
you know what I'm thinking about? The 2 astronauts who were stuck in space for a long time, and they're just now they're back on Earth going, you guys had an extra rocket, like you could have just sent it up to get us.
I mean,
but instead you're sending
for
up
9 months.
Well, what's the point? Is it historic that you guys are going on a ride? I mean, I think it's a bit
over the top,
and I think I just think there are.
You can see how uncomfortable Jenna is with all of this.
Because she's trying to make it light and
she
airy.
Keeps readjusting.
And Olivia's really bringing up like real points. Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, no one gives a shit about the 4th hour of the Today Show because it's not anything real, news, topics, trendings, whatever. It's just fluff pieces and celebrity, safe havens. I would be like, oh yeah, and tell us what else. I would just be egging Olivia on. Let her go for the hour with this.
Right. This is our Mickey Rourke moment. Let her do what she needs to do.
It's not even that. She seems to be pretty on the ball.
And she's making good points.
Yeah.
I just think there are the cover of Elle magazine. I mean, like, isn't that? I don't know.
Okay. So you're not going to go watch the launch.
They're having a launch party?
I am sure. Aren't they?
I'm sure.
I'm sure they are.
She's exactly like everybody else. She's like, wait, there's
upset.
a party for this? Is it a red carpet event? Is it a black tie event?
Exploration was to further our knowledge and to help mankind. I mean, what are they going to do up there that has made it better for us down here?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if like all that rocket fuel is good. I mean, this is a lot of resources being spent on.
Yeah, and a lot of eyelash.
Like she wants to say worse, but she's can't come up with it or she's holding. Yeah, I think it's more holding back.
I think she's holding back.
She's perplexed. She's not wrong about all of this stuff here. And I just want to point out, this was a week before the flight, before everybody else is now saying this out loud and thinking all this thing. She was saying it before it even happened.
A lot of resources being spent on.
Yeah, and a lot of eyelash glue to nail that baby down. That's what I can't stop thinking about.
See, again, Jenna,
She's trying to make it
bring it back to a lot of eyelash glue. They're going to be all glammed up.
Stuck up there like Armageddon style.
Oh yeah, this is fun. Hold on.
I can't stop thinking
if they get stuck up there like Armageddon style, and they've got to MacGyver it with their eyelash glue and stuff like that, then I would be excited.
Then that's something you'll tune into.
And I'm not saying I hope they get stuck up there, but wouldn't that be fun?
Yes, that's exactly what we would have said.
Exactly.
Good on Olivia Munn.
For a little bit.
Well, I mean, yes.
Just for a little bit.
Okay, we hope they actually don't, but it is...
Oh, shut up, Jenna.
Disclaimer,
no one's saying we hope they die. We're having fun with this. It would be kind of fun if they turned into Lost in Space, like something hit them and they got shot out into space and had to survive on a distant planet.
They're not really going up to space.
They're going...
hold on, here we go.
Don't, but it is...
They're not really going up to space.
They're going to the very top.
I think if we went like this, we could see them. They're just above the earth.
Good on her.
Just squint. You can see where Katy Perry's hanging out singing "It's a Wonderful World."
Yeah.
You know what? I've never had an issue with Olivia Munn, but this doesn't really hurt her at all. I think that's a great take on it.
Anything, I think it improves.
It really does make her more personable to me. Because I remember she was on the Newsroom, which I really enjoyed. She was on G4. She's not without merit. Personal people.
I think she's grown up.
I care less about people's personal lives.
I think she's grown. She's smartened up.
Has.
And I think she's learned the error of some of her ways.
Sure.
And she's being more realistic about things.
Yeah.
And good on Olivia Munn. Good
because
on her.
She's just look, that money could have been spent doing something else.
I just love it. They're having a launch party? Really?
Of course they are.
Yeah. They don't have lunch parties for real astronauts. You know what they do for the next couple of days? You're quarantined with your family, and then you have a night where you're quarantined without your family, and then you go up. That's your launch party. All right. We're going to end the show here. I'm going to leave you with this visual of Noah Cyrus's botched ass implants from Coachella. And with that being said and the music going, Jordan, it's time for the plugs. And as always, our nation's eyes turn to you.
All right. You can find me on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and YouTube at Jinx Ronan, Twitch at Jinx Ronan 79. If you guys have a Amazon subscription and you want to use your free Twitch subscription to kind of help us out a little bit, go over to Twitch, subscribe to the show, hit that little box. It's free for you. It's added on to what you're already paying for anyway. It helps us out. And we can bring you more of this fun content, maybe more easy band songs. We'll see.
All right. Let's take off Jordan there and hit that. There we go. For me in the show, it's Eric Nagel across the board on all the social medias. If you have the iHeartRadio app, do us a kindness. Go over there and put us first on your presets. It means something to someone, certainly doesn't mean anything to us. Over on Apple and Spotify, you could leave a positive review there. That does mean something to us, and that does help out the program. If you want to join us live each and every week, as we do. Oh, my thing wasn't even up on the screen there. There it is.
Robot roll call.
Let's do that.
Cambot. Katie.
What was I going to say? Oh, if you want to join us live each and every week in our live rooms, YouTube and on Twitch, go over to one of those platforms, like, follow, subscribe. I think it's free. As Jordan said, use your Prime account that you get from Amazon. Take that money away from Blue Origin funding and put it where it needs to go, funding this program. And then if you can't be bothered with any of that stuff, you can watch the produced video at your convenience over on our YouTube channel. It's Eric Nagel. All right. That is it, right? We've covered everything. It's
Gypsy.
Tired. Yes.
Crow.
The ugly one. All right. Until the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other.
We'll be seeing you.
It's Eric Nagel.
Just promise me we won't do anything else with them. I want to go back to being weird. I like being weird. Weird's all I've got. That and my sweet style.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends, so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.